remember there was one stage in secondary school I discovered Tonghua Cha, I was obsessed with it.
Oh.
Yeah. Then all my schoolmates thought it was weird.
Winter melon, oh my god, I love winter melons.
I think the only, what's the word called? Pop soda soft drinks I was a sucker for, right? Like hardcore. Was A&W beer.
A&W. I mean, what's that fast food? Is it A&W?
A&W?
Come back to Singapore in Jewel or something. Right?
Oh, not just Jewel, it's been around, but the standard is horrible. I tried it once recently when I went to Punggol. I was like, yeah, I'll do this once in terms of like token, what's the word?
Like a...
What's that word I'm looking for? Like when you go to Mecca? yeah, your token pilgrimage.
Yeah, pilgrimage to the A&W.
Yeah, no, because I have personal emotional connection to it.
Like
because
what?
of my grandfather.
I mean, when I'm very young, I always go to the Ang Mo Kio outlet.
Yeah, he would drive me all the way to the Bukit Timah one.
Yeah.
So we experienced like having waffles, and he was very anglicized, so he loves his root beers. So every time I eat, draws back memories. So when they brought it back, I was hoping to go and try, but I had no chance. Until recently, I was at Punggol, so I tried it. It's like, yeah, root beer is nice, but then the food was...
Punggol got A&W now?
Yeah.
Oh, damn. Not only just you.
No.
Also now got two.
Yeah, I think there's three.
But three.
A&W has always been tragic. I mean, past the golden era, they're always tragic with marketing. I mean, at the end of the day, if your marketing sucks, you'll just die. Your awareness is just not there. Then people are just like, look at when these came back, died. All the Gen X's brand trying to make a comeback, died. Orange Julius wanted to make a comeback, didn't do it.
What's happening with all this? Is marketing really king right now? Because
I think it's a mix of both.
Because I did the podcast with someone, I forget who already, but they said that if you need a lot of marketing, means the product is not good enough. But I disagree.
I think it's what kind of marketing are we talking about? Because marketing is such a big pie chart. That word is thrown around like a 60-year-old whore at this point in time, you know what I mean? But at the end of the day, if your product is terrible, why, if you cannot even get the formula right to begin with, right, and do your own testing before you open, right, why open? And then, I mean, their one USP is they're halal. But then again, so is McDonald's, right?
Yeah, everything, even Subway also want to be halal.
Everything is halal. So the waffles are depressing, and I'm a waffle fan also because of my grandfather.
Yeah.
So I got back into the waffle things before anyone else. So when they started doing all these cafes popped up years ago, right? I literally was docky enough to go around documenting waffles and putting it. I had a Facebook album dedicated to it. I literally called it Waffle Man Begins. And that time was about the same time as Chris Nolan's Batman. So I designed my own logo. I was that bored.
Waffle.
Legit. I took the Batman logo and I etched it out with an overlay with waffle spits. I stretched it.
So the effort, man, the effort.
So I went around documenting all the cafes and taking pictures and trying the different things. I used to always go to like strangers reunion, group therapy, department of caffeine. Wow.
when you see someone doing something that doesn't make monetary sense and they're putting in a lot of effort, right? That's pure passion right there, man.
Yeah. I think also that's the problem. That whole thing also became too much of a trend.
Right.
So they don't really have aficionados and people who are really into it. I don't know what happened at Strangers Reunion because Strangers Reunion actually did quite well. Because they had good food. So I think if you have the additional good food, right, you will survive. DOC, I don't know why these places even closed down.
DOC?
Department of Caffeine, it was at Duxton.
Right.
They were the first ones to actually do the savory waffles with chicken. People just don't know that.
But F&B though.
Yeah, it's the hardest thing.
Yeah, the margins like crazy.
And then over years, the rank keeps going up.
You know what's worse than F&B? Nightclubs.
Oh my god, that was crazy, man. That's why I was just telling my friend today. Oh, people opening, because okay, you know, one of my best friends in the scene is Robin.
Kiji.
Yeah, he's not just a DJ. I mean, over the years, we become like extended family. So like we message like almost every other day. I think, how do these people all can survive? I'm really fascinated.
Yeah, how do big clubs survive, right? What's the economics behind it, you know?
I mean, okay, I don't pay attention to the big clubs like in the commercial side of things, but I bet for the other team. So I want to see how the underground work. But to see all of them open, hopefully they last lah. I'm really impressed with HQ. They've lasted so long.
Yeah, the whole entire tuck shop collective, man.
Yeah.
They are like grinding hard and they really know how to engage their community. They go to the grassroots level because they know that they don't have infinite funding, right? So they also have to use the community's help lah. I think things change when you know that you got unlimited funding.
I think also it helps that in this era, that specific sound or that pie chart sounds, right? The awareness for it online is really large. And more how to say kids? Anything under 40 is kids to me, right?
This episode of Revelry Podcast is brought to you by Ripple Hydration, the perfect isotonic recovery drink for active individuals or after a late night out partying and drinking. Unlike many of its competitors, Ripple Hydration is a sugar-free beverage, a healthier option. This in turn prevents an energy spike and crash situation. It comes in a variety of flavors, and my personal favorite is the lemon lime. Each one of the sachets can be mixed with up to 750 ml of water. And again, comparing with similar beverage brands in the market, it is the most value for money. So click the link in the description and get a limited time 15% off all Ripple Hydration beverage purchases. And now, back to the show.
I think because they're all online, so they see a lot of culture, they hear a lot of sounds. So those who are drawn to it, it's easier for them to get drawn to the venues. So
Okay.
it wasn't like last time. It's a whole different ballgame. Because we had none of this. I had none of that. And then the generation after me also had none of that. We didn't have any of that until YouTube came along.
I just clarified with Tyler the other day. So you're around the same age, is it?
No, I'm older than him.
Then are you Gen X or are you
Gen X.
Boomer? You haven't Boomer yet, right? But
Yeah.
Gen X.
My year was the year they decided to get bored and cause trouble. There's actually history around it. You know, they say all the golden animals are troublemakers.
Golden animals.
In Chinese,
Zodiac.
yeah.
What's golden animals in Chinese zodiac? Like what?
Once every 12 years or something. There's a cycle. So
Oh.
there's golden orbs, so there's 70 ones, right? All the golden ones. That's where Gen X were born.
Oh.
So mine is 71. Tyler, if I'm not wrong, he's 44. Yeah, he just doesn't look it.
Okay, yeah. So I realized I'm not Gen X, I'm millennial. There is something in between Gen X and Gen Z, right?
Correct, yeah.
Yeah, it's not Gen Y. Gen Y is before.
The bus stop generation.
Yeah. Transitional. Which is like, we are like confused, okay.
Sometimes I feel like Gen X and Gen Z have a bit more in common than millennials.
In what sense?
I don't know. I've been lucky enough to meet so many and I've been working with them.
Yeah.
Maybe because you're Yen, so there's chemistry between us. I feel like they have a drive, they're very focused. They're not like all over the place. They won't want to do the whole multiple part of things. They'll pick a couple of stuff and they want to focus on that.
Really? Gen Z focus?
The ones I've met.
Damn, you are like the first person that gave me this perspective, man. Most people are talking about like Gen Z are like distracted.
No, as a whole, yes. But I think the ones who decide to do something, right, they're very focused. Other than the other millennials I met, right, they still are at that, I want to try different things and bounce around things. Yeah, so I'll try different, because they were born into the generation where everything was exploded. Technology was exploding. The options to do all these other things, where marathons were a thing, where sports was a thing. So they want one foot in that, one foot in something else, and they only have 2 feet, but they want 4 feet. But with Gen Zs, I mean, think about it. A lot of the collectives who popped up now in Gen Zs, they didn't come out. And they're willing to go all out. I see some of them, I'm so impressed now.
Yeah, but what's the
And they're
definition
willing
of
to
doing...
pump in their own money.
But what's the definition of doing well though? Is it like earning back?
Okay, maybe
or
not the
like
earning part, but maybe the passion is there.
they get the art of gathering people,
Yeah.
basically.
Like, I don't know whether you heard this collective called Ringtone.
Oh, never. Local Singapore.
Yeah, my God, you should check them out. In fact, my DJ partner at Tangley Mall, his brother is one of the organizers of Ringtone. So technically, by proxy, he also helps them. And he DJs for them as well. He organizes for them. So I have so much respect for him, man. I'm so lucky I met him. And by accident, actually. He's so driven. And he's got a day job. Technically, he's a poster boy. He comes from a very, very good background. He could usually live a lifestyle of luxury, but he doesn't. Yeah, he can balance his day job. And he has graduate. And he has Yale. And he spends a lot of time and focus also on developing Ringtone. It's a queer collective. But when you go there, it's like, when I went for the party, it's like, weirdly, they're all young enough to be my kids. But I didn't feel it. I don't know how to explain it. Okay, maybe I'm one person who doesn't really feel that out of place so easily. So when I went there, I didn't really feel it. Because I look at all of them and it's like, hey, they remind me of my time when we all used to dress weird and we're stupid clothes to go out.
Maybe because like all the people that you work with and your staff are all the younger ones, and then you're more comfortable with younger people.
No, the younger ones I know that I work with PS all these years, right? Technically, a lot of them are nuts. They're very quite looking.
Right.
These guys go up, they dress up in rabbit outfits and all that. So you have that community there as well.
Right.
And then the ones with the funky clothes. So it's like a stratosphere of like mixed up people. Everyone's getting along, and it's so amazing. And I mean, the music, okay, it's an acquired taste if you're into that kind of thing, because like speed techno, everything's so fast BPM now, right? So that's what they're pushing.
So that collective is like for
Underground.
focus on queer community
Yeah.
and hard music.
A variety of it, yes. I mean, they mix it up with UKG and all that, but it's definitely not top 40 zone. It's not commercial at all.
So it's not like tech house, deep house, the more chill,
No,
right?
not at all,
it's
man.
more
They-
it's more danceable. Dance.
I mean, it's danceable, but it's like 150 BPM kind of shit.
Yeah, like, more aggressive.
They've got, I don't know whether you know Bruce. Bruce used to run Basi Temple. I think they're still around.
Ooh.
So Bruce also played for them. So there's a whole bunch of them. And in fact, one of the ringtones they did, that's when I got hold of. I met this guy called Isaac. He played for them. So somehow I pulled him along to get involved with me. And he's even played Tanglin Jin. Yeah. And
Basi
he's also
Temple
very
is
driven.
also queer collective.
Yeah, super. That one's hardcore.
What's the difference?
I think
The music is even more aggressive.
I think their events were larger scale. And I think Basi started first before Ringtone, if I'm not wrong. I'm not sure the timeline, but I know the one Basi I went to, that was epic, man.
Right.
Huge. I was mind blown. Okay, I was always very apprehensive about going back into these scenes and all that. Ironically, it was Deepak who encouraged me to go. Because he was doing sound for them.
Yeah. Deepak is plugged in, man.
Yeah, like, he did sound for them. So he told me come and check it out.
Yeah.
And it was at Mohammed Sultan, one of the art spaces there. And it was a huge warehouse. And I went in, like, I think there were like a few hundred people in here. And the production was big. And then they were on a stage. The lighting was nice. And okay, you see interesting things.
Yeah. I mean,
Not necessarily, okay, I don't know what even, can you actually define queer if they're both straight? I don't know. Like girl walking a guy with a dog collar, that kind of thing. Yeah.
I mean, on It's the Ship, we also see crazy BDSM stuff as well, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they have a lot of like this kind of theme. I guess people crave this kind of release lah.
But on It's the Ship is different though, because once you're away from Singapore, right, you feel like both saying, oh, let's just do it, man.
Wow, but doing it in Singapore is even more daring, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There were cops outside trolling Mohammed Sultan because I went outside, I was looking cars around, but at least it's nice that they didn't get hassled because they were dressed quite interestingly. I mean, to me, I'm looking at it like, oh, finally Singapore caught up.
But I mean, I think as an Asian country, right, do you think we are like quite forward already? I think
No, man.
other than compared to Japan, Japan
No, I was just going to say that.
on a whole nother
Yeah, I
but
like
if you don't
Japanese.
count Japan, right, is Singapore the most advanced one compared to
Okay, now
every
it's pushing the
other?
boundaries.
We can fight already, I can compare.
As long as they don't go too far. There's a limit of everything. As long as they don't try and get too woke about it, then that's fine.
Right.
Because I didn't realize, I got so bored recently, I started like trolling YouTube for videos, right? I'm always late to the party with a lot of things, especially because 20 years of my life, when I had my shop, I was stuck there for so long, right? I missed out on so much things in life, like what's happening in the real world.
Like what shop?
No, I mean, my school was originally in Peninsula, so I had a retail outlet.
Oh,
Yeah, I had to give it up because the rent was just getting insane.
right.
It went from can do to like, are you kidding me? Almost twice the rent. So I got out in like 2017.
Wow.
Yeah, so that time the classes were there, they're organizing events for them. So I was just in that world and I can get very hyper fixated by something to the point that I think my own guys cannot relate to me. They won't even ask me, you want to go for dinner. They won't see me as the guy that you want to eat with, just like maybe talk about DJ stuff with and do nice stuff with. To the point that, I never even tried mala until like way after the fact. Food was just eat to survive. And until now, I haven't tried Korean hot pot.
Wow. The grind is real, man.
Not because everyone I know it's transactional. It has to do with what I do.
But personally, what are you working on now? Are you a full-time DJ school owner?
I would like to see. I would like the school to be full time. No, I don't really want the school to be seen as a DJ school. After COVID, especially, I really want it to be positioned as a music production school that happens to teach DJing.
Oh, okay. So that's your main business.
So the DJing is the like 30% of it. 70% ideally we like to push production.
Right.
Not just the teaching aspect, but also the culture of it. Because you see, a lot of people think production equals to making dance music. But it's not being demystified yet.
Right. There's composition. There's other genres.
You'd be surprised. Quite a few of our students are from churches. So every time, my instructor he goes to church. I'm the toilet, I'm from below. So,
Counterbalance.
yeah. So every time we get inquiries from like churches, we laugh and say, and I'm a total atheist. So it's interesting because they want to learn how to use programs to record instruments. Then there's also there's an official lesson plan internationally, right? That's specially designed for the churches. It's called Prayer and Worship.
What and worship?
Prayer and worship. The hymns, the songs, the live bands in churches, the choir, there are ways of recording it into DAWs and to process it, either to record it live and to send out a signal, or to create -1s for them so they can sing over.
Yep.
Yeah, there's a whole different market. And DAWs has, I tell people, when people ask me, what else can you do with production? Say, have you heard your phone today? Have you opened, did you hear any audio? Say, yeah, that's DAW.
Yeah.
Everything you hear is made with a program. It just matter which level are you talking about.
Yeah.
So it's a very expensive skill. It's just like what you do with the skill. Just like with any skill, if you don't package it nicely, right, nobody cares.
Right.
If you're lousy at it, then go and get good at it. It's discipline.
With your production school, are you like heavy on the marketing or really more of the word of mouth?
Oh, no, I would like to get heavier with the marketing. In fact, that's what we're trying to do this period of time. Because, okay, after COVID, it was not easy for me. The first 2 years, because I have health issues, right, I was really, really messed up. My spine.
what?
I have a spine issue, so for years. And I was misfortunate enough to have a relapse 1 week in the circuit breaker. From doing absolutely nothing. In fact, it was so traumatizing, right? I can still remember exactly what I was doing. Literally standing behind my coffee shop and drinking coffee. So I just wiggling my hips and then I felt something go off.
Oh.
Like a worm in my spine. And then I knew something was off. But I never ever had a non-provoked attack because I was prone to like slip disc spasms for years.
Slip disc spasm.
Oh, do you not know I suffer from spinal issues?
I only know slip disc, but I don't even know there's such thing called
Oh
slip
my god,
disc spasm.
when you get the attack, right, it's like a gunshot, man.
Wow.
I've had traumatizing attacks in my life that have emotionally affected me. And it's affected more parts of my body as well. Now it's gone to my neck. I mean, I don't get neck spasms, but then it's affected the whole spine. But yeah, my spasms come like a explosion. Like the minor ones, which are harmless, feel like electric shocks. So because that's pinched nerve, right? But when I get my major ones, either because I sneezed or coughed too hard or wrong position or sway, or maybe the muscles got too tense and decided like, we had enough. Yeah, I've been rushed to A&E before. There's one time it even happened to me in my shop at Penny. Lucky the tattoo guys next door came over because they heard me shouting, I think. Oh, no. Customers walked in, so they went over, called the tattoo guys. So they took care of me. And then, I had to, I didn't want to call ambulance to the building. So they put me in a cab and took me to SGH.
There is no cure for this.
I mean, those days, I should have focused more on treatments and rehab or that. So I survived on TCMs.
Wow.
Yeah, and then over years, you must remember we came from when I first had it, right? It was the 90s. There was no information, so a lot of people actually they take health issues for granted.
Yeah.
It's really, really bad. But my time we couldn't take it for granted. It wasn't a matter of taking it for granted. It's a matter of like at your age, right? Either you depend on your parents to go find out for you, or you just try and live with it. Because, like you see, I would not have thought of even trying TCM in the 90s until someone recommended me in the 2000s, and then brought me a TCM. Then some TCMs they don't speak English, right? So it's a bit tricky.
Right.
So maybe when he does the base translation, then when the guy knows what's going on, and then I go. Then throughout time, I go and find other TCM guys who can speak English, try different things. Chiro is expensive. Chiro, if you find the wrong one, it's a con job. If you find the right one, it's also expensive. It's like in the thousands because you have to sign the package, right?
Yep.
But technically, you do need to go for a whole bunch of treatments before you can even see some results. So by the time, you already spend like 3K. It's insane. And the sad thing is there's one thing that has been removed from hospitals, a traction bed. So hospitals don't have that anymore. So chiros have this thing called a spinal decompression bed. But every treatment on that is about 160 something.
What the hell?
Yeah, not cheap.
I have one experience with Cairo, right? And he's trying to like run qualifier on me, see whether I can be a good enough customer for him. And then he's like, okay, first treatment is like $100 fee before we even start anything. Then
Consultation lah.
Yeah. And I'm like, dude, this guy is like a bit too aggressive already lah. So I think maybe not a good business person.
Was he local?
Local, probably very good because of how bad his attitude is and he still have a lot of clients, right? I guess probably very skillful.
Marketing lah.
No, I guess if you're damn good, right, you can be a little bit of a dick, like
balance it out, right?
like Kanye, But if you're not that good, then
Kanye is just a little bit of a dick. That one's whack. That one needs meds.
Yeah. But I mean, he revolutionized so many things lah. So yeah, so speaking of just now all the queer collectives, right? I have only been exposed to a few. Like I think Hyper is the one.
I don't think they even
Hyper.
categorize themselves as queer. I think they just belong gay.
Oh, is gay
It's-
collective?
It's basically their group. I've actually never been for their parties before. It is really, I think as a minority, I would stick out. Although I'm told there are others there, but it's just that kind of crowd.
What's the like
And the music also is not my thing.
Right,
It's circuit lah.
circuit?
Circuit house.
Circuit house
It's a gay dance
genre.
sound.
Or gay dance
Yeah, it's
sound.
been around for a long time.
Oh. What's the difference?
honestly, it's just
It's like tech house.
no. Okay, now the tech house thing is coming in because there's a DJ called Sean Yo who plays for them, who's trying to push it. But circuit is an international sound. It's just tribal. It's just, at the risk of sounding like a musical snob, you just discounted tribal. I came from a time where tribal was serious. You know, when tribal was getting born in the early 90s, and then it peaked when our Lord and Savior Danny Tenaglia was reigning supreme.
Yeah. 9-hour DJ sets.
Oh my god.
Holy fuck.
I was quite lucky to at least catch, you know, the last when Zouk was moving?
Yeah.
I decided to do all my farewells. So I went for all the major gigs. Not all, at least the last few. I remember the ones that really stuck out to me was Solomon. I still got to, like, for the last time, stand in the center of the pyramid and do my shit. So I thought my back wasn't so bad, so I can still, like, you know, work it. Because that's why I like party. I mean, I like the music because I like to dance. But I don't care about the people. The people were always secondary. So I got to see Solomon and I got to see Danny Tenaglia. There's one more act I'm trying to remember they brought. I saw him also, just slipping my mind right now. No, but Danny was still doing one of his long sets. With his light beams. You know about his light beam thing?
No.
He used to like shine like light beams in the crowd. But it wasn't just him. There was a whole bunch of them in that point in time. The beautiful thing about it, what people in Singapore did not know, right? That tribal sound actually came up on the queer scene. I mean, back then they didn't use the queer word. Yeah, it was all from the meatpacking district in New York. So you had even Peter Roffler, who's if I'm not mistaken, he's from Vienna and he was relocated to the US and he went by the moniker Club 69.
Wow. Kinky.
No, but he did a lot of tracks that people were playing across the board. You may even have a Club 69 remix in your collection.
Who knows?
His real name is Peter Roffler.
Not too familiar.
One of his most famous remixes is he did a remix for Soft Cell's Tainted Love.
Tainted Love, I've heard, yeah. But I don't know the remix though.
And even tracks like Music is the Answer by Salida. Music is the answer to your problem. Yeah. So he worked on all that. Then there was a label called Twisted Records. They were churning out singles like crazy, man. Then they had Twisted UK, Twisted US. It became like an entire franchise. That really pushed the tribal house out to the point that everybody was trying. Even Defector also tried to jump on the tribal bandwagon.
Damn.
Not very successful.
I mean, the originator, right?
They didn't have the... I think they didn't have the focus. If you want to do... When you know back in the day when you have labels and you want to sub out, if you're not doing it well, it will die. So they had a spin-off label that was trying to knock on tribal's doors called Sondos.
From Defected?
Yeah.
Okay.
So Sondos ended up going the more progressive house route. Also didn't do too well because it wasn't like the prop purists wouldn't like Sondos because Sondos sounded a bit too...
But what happened to Tribal House now?
I mean, on one hand, it became circuit.
Okay.
On the other hand, well, you can see where house is going now.
It's like what? Atas vibes.
I mean, it's soulful, depending on which... You see, it's come to a point where sometimes you talk to the right, it's very hard to use the word house. Like, you know, when I have students or I mean people, they say, oh, I'm into house, like, really now? From 10 years ago when I see YouTube channels that says, you know, remember the famous one with the I Heart House?
Yeah.
Everything there is terrible.
I mean, that's how the first house music we hear, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we get informed by that.
So they don't know that house came from a bigger world. They need house to be fun. They need house to be euphoric. They need house to be highly energetic. When house was actually supposed to be a sensual sound.
Correct. Oh my god,
Because
that
people
is so
have
right.
I know it sounds horrible because I'm a very good dancer. If I wasn't injured, you see me, you lose my shit. So that's how I get. I don't need people to dance. I love dancing a lot. That's the only reason. So now that I'm injured and I can't go out, it's actually very depressing. So when people ask me to go out for events and it's like, what's the point? I can't enjoy myself. No, I feel miserable.
Like, you go surgery or something?
I have one slip disc that goes both ways. So the inside cannot be operated on. It's
Wow.
pushing inward. Most slip disc comes out one way.
Oh.
Yeah, so it was a Kiwi chiro that I went for a trial for a couple of years back. And he said, has anyone really broken down these things in your MRI and told you? One thing is called sacralization. So your tailbone is actually more compressed and trying to join to your lumbar. It's a birth defect. I didn't know that. So I never, because back then there was no information. So, I mean, operations, I have to do rehabs. I'm bad at discipline. Time management is something I cannot do. I'm forcing myself to. I only realized in later years that I have very bad ADHD. Because I like too many things. I'm interested in too many things. And I want to do too many things at one time. So even to the point that one thing that I need to do, I can't even complete it well. You can procrastinate for 6 months sometimes. So even like rehab, the time when I was rehabbing, I was getting better. Then I neglect the school. Because the rehabbing was I've lost a lot of weight. Like last couple of years, I can spend a half day exercising though.
Like rehab is they move you guided
No,
exercise.
rehab is a concept. You can rehab yourself. Like if you go for swimming, it's considered rehab. If you go to the gym, you're doing your treadmills, you're doing your trainings there, it's also part of rehab. And then COVID made me realize that we are very lucky to live in Singapore. People just take it for granted. You know, our fitness corners are amazing, but yet people don't use it. We are the only country in the world where you can go out at night, any time of the night. Use your fitness corner, you want to stretch, you want to do, train body weights, and you won't get mugged.
I was thinking you won't get shot. Yeah.
Yeah, you won't get mugged, you won't get raped, you won't get stabbed, you won't get anything.
Yeah.
Why do people not appreciate that beauty of it instead of complaining all the time? And then when people say they have no time. So as an injured person, when I see people who are overweight, right, and not doing anything about it, I'm like, you don't know how lucky you are. Get out behind the comm and get out the bloody mat and do something about it. You don't need a gym, don't need anywhere. Once you get into it, then you want to go to the gym, sure, go ahead. But you want to start somewhere, right? And now even like on YouTube, they have things like 10-minute chair exercises. So many things you can do.
Oh my god, I do my 15-minute stretch every day, man, without fail, man.
Yeah, you were into it, right?
Yeah.
You were training also. At one point, I remember I told you, right? I saw you when you were like really younger.
Yeah, I'm always skinny lah, but now maybe
But now you look filled out.
now maybe metabolism slow.
But you have to watch this, because when you're older, this thing is going to start to curve, and then your whole spine is going to tilt forward. So you have to find a way to push it back.
Yeah, must do stretching.
A lot of DJs don't realize because they haven't reached that age yet. But remember, DJing is still, for all intents and purposes, it's still very new. Although it's 40 years old, right? Internationally, right? But people have gone to it. So all those who are in their 50s now, right, they already begin to feel it because they've been doing that the whole time.
Right.
So,
I mean, you can balance out with all the EDM DJs.
yeah, they spend more time doing that than anything else, right?
Yeah, they don't have that problem. Yes.
Those are the festival ones.
I don't need to DJ.
Yeah, what's up with them?
Hey, but they're making all the big money, man. Why the hell are we not doing that? Maybe we got integrity.
I don't think it's that. I think it's because we're stuck here.
Really? But then the thing is, like, you look at other countries, right? They are probably not as stable as Singapore. I guess that's also why, lah. They have more outlets for creativity as compared to us. We're too safe to explore craziness.
Here's the thing. I think there's one thing that people don't realize. Because you see, even if you're a DJ or producer in any country, right? If you're doing this full time, right? There's no way you're earning every single month. And I got this information from a guy that was a video. He was a documentary film guy, and he even filmed. If I'm not mistaken, he even was on the video MTV crew with Kanye West before. He said a lot of these creators, right? In between downtime when they're not working on any projects, they actually go and claim welfare. Yeah, so a lot of producers and music people could even be doing that. So when you claim welfare in different countries, I think there are different laws, right? You're not supposed to be receiving income until, say, you declare you want to claim from what day to what day, right? You cannot take something that's going to pay you. So I think because it's very hard to police freelancers.
Yeah, precisely. So they at the back.
Yeah, so I think that's how a lot of creators have been surviving for longest time. That's something you cannot do in Singapore.
Yeah.
It's very hard. But also, let's face it, our market is not big enough.
Yep.
It never has been, it never will be. If you think about something, get the hell out. And take a risk. If you can save money, you can travel. I think a lot of people wouldn't dare go overseas and do it the hard way.
But with the age of social media, right, wouldn't you say that all content is being globalized? Like you can be producing in a I don't know, like a basement in Indonesia or something, and everybody in the world can see it.
No, for sure. But yeah, and then the only reason we all know whether it's dance music, DJ music, pop music, rock music, any music, everybody earns on touring.
Everybody
Earns on touring. Yeah, so just like gigs are where the serious money is, whether it's commercial festival, EDM, hands in the air waving to the pop kind of thing, or playing in a normal club or whatever. Your sales, your digital sales will never be fantastic. It will just be like, in a way, it's an extensive marketing tool to keep your brand, it's like all those information that came out over the years that how many artists were not making that much money because of all the labels, and all that shit is coming out now.
Yep.
I mean,
The
Prince was
80s
trying to tell everybody a long time ago, but nobody listened, and he died for it.
Michael Jackson, same, right?
Yeah, and now with all the conspiracies of both of them, especially Prince being murdered, because, of the whole thing with him and Jay-Z, for those who actually know.
What? Prince and Jay-Z?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Jay-Z played him out, big time.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
What's the story?
No, he actually agreed only to allow Tidal to stream one of his new albums. I think the Art something, what's it called, the Art or something, I forgot the name, for a specific time. What Jay-Z did was not just stream that, he ended up getting all the files for Prince's music, back catalogue, and streaming all of them without his permission. So now there's a whole legal case between Jay-Z's Rock Nation or something and Paisley Park after Prince died. And also Prince was speaking out about things called chemtrails in the US. So he was speaking up on a lot of things, and people down there don't like it when you're loud.
What?
Chemical trails is this conspiracy theory that when planes are flying over the US, right, they're spraying a certain kind of chemical that gets you sick. So it's like a big pharma kind of conspiracy. But something that's so far-fetched, it could actually be true. Because at that level, you never know what people do to make that kind of money.
Yep, that's true.
And he spoke out, he actually wrote songs about it. I mean, during his less popular time, like towards the late 90s and early 2000s, when he was going more folk, like he was singing about all these things and he was talking about them in interviews and podcasts. And also, YouTube wasn't happy with him because he removed all his music. He was very concerned about who was using his music and what they were using it for. Yeah, so he was actually everyone's hero. People just didn't know it. He was the true king in that sense. He even told, like Pink talks about interview when she met Prince, and the first thing he asked her, do you have the rights to all your music?
Wow, damn.
She said that was not a question she expected to hear from Prince.
Yeah.
He expected Prince to like, how you doing? What's up?
This kind of like
everyone thought that he was that kind of guy, you know what I mean? But he wasn't that kind of guy. He actually encouraged everyone to take care of their career very well because he got screwed over from a very young age and he didn't realize it until he was old enough to learn the business. To the point that he almost had a gun to his head at one point in time that he had to churn out an album every year. So the deal he had was actually a bad deal.
Damn, I mean, like it's very similar to the K-pop girl group called New Jeans, right? I don't know if you know.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, they recently got into some like legal thing over their manager and their label, and they love the manager, but then I think somehow either the manager fuck over the label or label fuck over the manager. It's like a back and forth thing. And then now even the band New Jeans, they are affected and potentially they might be discontinued. So there's quite a lot of things. But then the thing is like
so sad.
But the
big boys will never lose though. I hope they do, like Clive Davis. Clive Davis needs to go down.
Clive Davis? Who's that?
He's a record producer from the past that's been pulling strings for the longest time. In fact, conspiracy or not, but it's all out there now. He could have actually made P. Diddy who P. Diddy is. He was the white guy who taught the black guy how to be that guy.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. And he's also had accusations against him before that have all been swept away. He's from the rich white man boomer generation that controlled everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, friends with Harvey Weinstein, that gang.
Wow, damn. Yeah, because what was I thinking?
The K-pop thing. New Jeans, labels.
Yeah, so for K-pop, right, I think it's not only just K-pop, but any musician that want to make it. You are like, in the beginning, you are nothing. Maybe you are just a pretty face or you have a good voice. You are basically
You're talking about in this era lah.
Any era actually, you are basically nothing. And at the start, you need a label's help to jumpstart you.
No, last time was honestly very different. You pretty face, so the most you have is one hit and you're gone. But
yeah, but you need the help of the label.
Only for that one release. But if you don't have actual talent, right? You see, the misconception that people always had in the past, right? If you're attractive, that means you're not talented. But people in the past, even though they're attractive, right? They actually had a lot of skill writing their own music. They were their own lyricists and they were involved in the process. Like, see, for years, the one person that no one ever thought was that talented was actually Madonna. But strangely enough, she's more talented than people actually told her for.
I mean, in order to last so long, she must have some substance.
No, a lot of substance. In fact, when the time when I was a music groupie, I had one guy I actually used to pray to. I idol worshipped. He was an old trance progressive breakbeat producer. I met him personally, and he said he actually worked on a remix with Madonna, which is true. He and Sasha did a remix. His name is BT. I don't think you heard of him.
Oh my god, I know BT trance, right?
No, he was everything. So you see, his own label didn't even know how to handle him. Because
BT and Tiesto.
Yeah,
at one point
he gave Tiesto his biggest hit.
Yeah, love comes again.
Okay, here's the weird thing about BT. He told me he's actually quite a shy guy. Although he's phenomenally good looking. So even when Justin Timberlake asked him to be in the video for Pop, right? He didn't want. But then I was lucky enough to actually meet him in Singapore. We hung out in the Velvet Room and talked the whole night. No, he gave me undivided attention, and we just drank and talked. And he opened up about when he was held at gunpoint, when he had all his gear stolen, and why was he on a crutch on the cover of DJ Mag and everything. So we just had a hug. It was like two good friends talking the whole time. And when these two chicks were trying to SPG all over him, right? He actually said, "I'm talking here," and he ignored it. I was like, oh, I feel so touched right now. BT's talking to me.
Every musician to make it, you need to get a gunpoint at one point.
Because he was trying to sell off his gear. His friend had a deal, and it was a back alley deal.
Right.
Yeah, so they went there. Apparently, the friend went out to the back of the van with one of the guys to show them the equipment. The second guy came, pointed a gun at his face.
Damn.
And then he realized, oh shit, I'm getting mugged.
But the whole point, right, is not to say that, okay, you are just good looking or whatever. Okay, let's just say you are talented, you are the perfect individual, okay? At the end of the day, right, in order to make it big, you need like a label to loan you the advance, the cash.
Yeah, for sure.
Effectively making you, right, like you need their help in the beginning so that they can supercharge your career to where you are at, right? And then for you to complain that, oh, the label is taking too much. Could you imagine, right, all these people that are complaining that the label is taking too much from them, right? They started out indie. They wouldn't have been as big as they were now, without the labels.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah,
especially
so
back then.
why are they complaining? Is there any justification to all of that? And maybe, right, because I've always been an indie artist, right? So in a sense that I support the indie way of doing things. But then the thing is, like, to be devil's advocate, right? Don't you think labels also deserve their fair share?
But that's the thing, who say what's fair and what's not, you see.
Precisely.
I think it's the percentage.
business,
cut. It's a percentage cut. But the music industry is so dirty also. It's too dirty. Like the whole thing with Tommy and Mariah. That was like the longest con that people didn't even know about.
Tommy and Mariah Carey. Okay, tell us the story, man.
No, I mean the story, and it's been coming out. A lot of her number ones were Chiong one.
Like the management buy the number one themselves.
Yeah, and then they always, when they actually, because US so big, right?
I heard of this, like if you upload on Beatport.
Here's a story about her and Tommy. When Tommy was a sales exec, only a sales exec, right? She had no interest in him.
No interest in,
No.
like, no romantic interest.
Yeah,
Right.
He had the hot for her. He wanted to get some. He wanted to get some carry. You know what I'm saying? But he couldn't. She wasn't interested. But once he became president, hey Tommy,
President of what?
Sony.
Oh shit!
Yeah, he was.
When the 80s?
No, 90s.
90s?
Yeah, he was head dog, man. And he's involved in a lot of this dodgy stuff also with a lot of artists. He also screwed over George Michael. And
George Michael.
And later when he lost Mariah, he tried to play J-Lo against Mariah. He even took a song that was meant for Mariah and gave it to J-Lo to sing.
Ooh.
Yeah, you go investigate the whole
Is it
thing.
released?
It's messy. Yeah, it came out. I'm real. Yeah, that was actually meant to be the melodies for it were supposed to be a Mariah song. And she was supposed to book something else. So that's why those two they cannot get along.
I mean, play politics, oh.
Yeah, but Mariah's actually I'm not into her music after a certain point because it started becoming too pointless.
Yeah.
I was a big fan when she first came out for the first 3 albums.
Yeah.
Even Prince actually gave her a song on her album. So, because she looks like that, so people don't think she's that talented. They don't think she's skilled to write. Madonna can actually operate a 48-track flying fader mixer. Yeah, BT told me, he said when he worked with her, he said it was crazy. Suddenly another side of her came out. And she started cross-analyzing all the kind of technical sounds that he made with his music and with Sasha's sounds. She said, this is how you made this sound. She cannot make the sounds, but she takes their sounds and make it hers. And she says, I'm looking for a prog house remix.
Whoa.
So even when Sasha did a remix for Ray of Light, right, she was very open and said, Prodigy screwed me over. I need your help. So she wanted a remix that sounded like Smack My Bitch Up.
Spec my picture.
Yeah, so he did a breakbeat remix and he said, I have something in mind. Because at the time, Sasha didn't do breaks just yet. He hadn't released the expanded EP. He said, I have a formula. So he used that to make Ray of Light, the remix. 10-minute long epic saga of a remix. So those days when one remix was really like Star Wars trilogy.
Yeah.
I miss those days.
It's like the song structure is like opera.
Oh, it's like an extravaganza in one song. No, I miss those days. Nowadays as time went by, people have less and less patience.
I mean, now we have a 3-part song. It's called Sicko Mode.
What's Sicko Mode?
The Travis Scott and Drake. It's one song, right? But it's 3 different BPM.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, that's been done before though.
Yeah. I mean, it's like a borrowed from an old concept, but I think it's like quite refreshing, and that's why it's like so popular. But
3 different BPMs.
yeah. So back to what I was originally saying, right?
The labels.
The labels, right? That you're saying that they are like faking the streams, right?
Yeah.
In essence, like I know of
Not streams. This was days when there was no streams. This was purchase. So technically,
same idea lah.
yeah, because CD singles those days, right? Different areas sell different things. Like even in Singapore, you can buy the same CD single at some shop in Orchard Road. Go down to Sembawang CD shop if you ever heard it, and it's like $3 cheaper.
Why?
Cheaper area rent.
Oh, rent. Okay.
So the US also towns, outskirts of towns,
Also, they have like a base price, and then based on
they'll send
location.
the people go and buy all the cheaper CD singles and everything, bring it back, repackage, sell it. Like it's a cycle. So you churn the sales. Doesn't matter what you're losing money. You need to just churn the numbers to get the numbers up. There are a lot of ways to
Marketing.
chiong. Yeah.
Same for Beatport, same for iTunes.
Yeah, now in digital age, I think maybe there are different ways of doing it. But this is basically, I mean, come on, no one can have a whole string of number ones just like that so easily.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
some of the songs are even worth being number one. Even MJ couldn't even do that.
Yeah.
Even MJ, Madge, Prince, Janet, all of them couldn't even do that. Have like 6, 7 number ones, or hers 20 number ones, something like that. Ridiculous. See, that is really like dead giveaway. So a lot of these trickeries have been done before. So like labels can be very dirty.
Russ, I don't know if you know Russ. It's like a indie rapper that he exposes all this, right? He says that, right, if you're a major label and then you're boosting your artist.
Is he friends with Cat Williams?
I don't know. I know Cat Williams, comedian, but I don't know they have any relation. But when you get 100 million streams and you try to fake it to 500 million, nobody can tell. 100 million, 500 million is like, it's such an arbitrary number, you know.
Yeah, these days it's just like, yeah, how do people do it?
Yeah. Use, I don't know, bot farms in China or something.
I think it's useful if you have like 1 or 2 releases signed to a label, but you just need to be very careful into what you're signing away. Those days people didn't know about business, so they just signed off their life, and then they were young, they were like, not say greedy, but someone gives you like an X amount dollar deal for like a whole bunch of albums, you're going to think, oh yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Let's do that. But when you make that decision now, how do you know who you're going to be as a person 6 years from now? What's going to happen? There were a lot of bands in the 80s also who suffered from that. They made deals and then like, but they were not in the mental frame to actually come out with an album and be creative. So they churn out something that is not spectacular. And that album actually pulls their name down. And then either the label becomes a dick and drops them, which is a good thing because they have to pay money back, right? Because that's the label's decision.
Right.
Or you still get forced to push out something else, but then you're already demoralized from your full album. So that's happened to a lot of artists in the past. And then you have your 90s one-hit wonders, because 90s was famous for that, right?
Yeah.
A lot of artists were shorter. Like the most famous one, I think one-hit wonder, one of them are New Radicals. You got the music with you. Before anything else happened, they already broke up. So deals are crazy. Now at least I think in a way it's easier because you can make a decision just to maybe license just one song, but whether you're going to push out your whole album is a different ballgame. But the touring is the problem.
Labels can help you tour, right?
Yeah. So do you need, the thing is, I never investigated, do you need the label's financial help to tour? Or can you self-fund it? Because self-funding is a bit difficult. Unless you're doing national tours, smaller, maybe you can.
You know John Bellion?
The name sounds familiar.
He collaborated with Zed for Beautiful Now.
Oh, is it?
Beautiful.
But that's a quite okay.
And he has a lot of this kind of like number one hits. And he said how the labels played him out during his touring season. And he realized that a lot of money, right, that they sell the hot dog, they sell the parking space, all this, right, is not being remunerated to him.
Yeah, it's not.
And then eventually, right, he just pulled out cold turkey from the label.
You're talking about festivals, is it?
He sold out concert shows, or he's a singer. Yeah. And
the vocalist for that.
vocalist, not Zed. Yeah, John Bellion. And then, so end up, he is in such a financial crisis that he's like talking to his wife, like, hey, do I actually have to, go out and McDonald's and work in order to rebuild my own indie career? Because when you are fully a musician, right, you're relying your business aspect completely on the label.
Yeah.
And then when they drop you, or you drop them, vice versa, right? You're now on your own, right, with no business backing. You just know music only, and you can't survive in that way, indie lah. Yeah, so that's why he struggled and he went dark for 6 years, and then now he finally came back. He did a podcast, he released a bunch of tracks. Wow, and then all the fans oh my god, this guy's finally back. And then now he's like, I'm back, but
the people from that generation
and new fans also. And then he's like, I'm back, but now it's under my own terms. And it's like, wow, such an epic comeback.
What label was he on? He was a commercial label. That's the thing with EDM. EDM ended up getting, a lot of EDM tracks, artists also ended up getting signed to the big boys.
Label is one thing, right? And also those kind of ticketing agency, Live Nation,
Yeah, I've heard a
Nation,
lot
all
of
that
those
kind of thing.
sus, man.
Yeah.
Ticketmaster, all this. I mean, that's a whole different discussion, a whole different realm to investigate and go and dig deep.
Yeah.
And then you get all the information, then you see the numbers wow, they really made a lot. I see all this stuff on Facebook sometimes. You just get lost if you really go and research every single thing. Everyone's complaining about them not using Ticketmaster and everything. I tend to see a lot of, my Facebook will show me all the band stuff, not really the DJ stuff.
Right.
Like The Cure and The Smiths and all. Okay, Morrissey doesn't really, every time he has a tour, he cancels. But all the bands, a lot of them are rejecting some of these formulas because they just think that the Ticketmasters are taking too much. And because of that, they inflate the ticket prices, then the fans can't even see them.
That's the problem.
Yeah, ticket prices are getting so obscene. Labels are getting so greedy. they make artists actually put out limited editions, especially for the older artists now. They have a clientele that can afford money. Yeah. You know what I mean? I mean, like a lot of people think they're big fans of artists these days. Are they going to buy the stuff on LP? No, right? They're going to either listen on Spotify and that's it, and go to the parties. But the older generation, or the older artists, right? People want to buy the vinyl. But these artists, is like a lot of the releases become cash grabs already.
Like what, for labels?
Yeah, they push out the labels, and sometimes you wonder, is it really the artist's intention to re-release this album, just put in 1 or 2 more tracks and charge like €200 for it, or is it the label?
Right. I mean, the most radical move was done by Taylor Swift, right? With her Red remastered. So I think she
let's talk about that also. Correct.
Yeah.
Then she's trying to
separate from the label. So she take all the songs and re-record everything. So it's the same shit, you know? Yeah. And the fans just flock.
You know who is the first one who actually threatened that, right?
What, Scooter Braun?
No, Prince.
Threatened re-record.
He was going to.
Right.
Then Warner actually gave in to him at the point of time in 2000s. 2 years before, he wanted to re-record everything and put it out again. No, that was his plan, and then somehow he got all his masters back.
Damn.
Yeah, and then 2 years later he got killed. He died. So, sus.
Then where the label?
And his body
Where's the masters now?
In Paisley Park.
Under his family lah.
No, there's still an investigation going on.
So nobody owned the.
But the only thing it's called the Paisley Park Foundation. Yeah. Have you seen Paisley Park before?
What's that?
Okay, when the difference between him and MJ, to me, when they both made their first millions, right? One went to make a wonderland for kids. The other one went to build, at that point of time, one of the largest music complexes in the US. If you look at a picture of Paisley Park, right, from aerial view, it's like some gigantic JTC industrial factory. Nothing but studio rooms inside. Yeah, he has a basement studio room that is so big, and it was designed for bands. Obviously, he want to make money also, right? But he wants good sound system for bands like even Guns N' Roses, Rolling Stones, other bands. Used to go and rent his studio just to rehearse for tours. He was really into the sound part of things, one. So he was more like a back end person than he was a front. So when he wasn't interested so much in the front line, shiny hoo-ha.
Paisley Park is like a rental studio, jamming studio.
It's everything, man.
Production house, all in one.
You can throw huge parties in there, you can throw concerts in there. Whoa. So it's even hosted indie bands in the US, or some like the UK come to the US looking for space. So he rented Paisley Park he's even hosted like British indie bands before. So it's a gigantic complex. You can't even, it's hard to call, because in your mind when you mention the word studio, you think of something small, right? How you look at it, it's like, how do you see that? That's not small.
Is it like the Apple hexagon?
Yeah. Okay, it's like, the Apple building in Chikang? It's way bigger than that.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's what he wanted to do. Then obviously he has all his rooms, like, his guitar room with all the guitars that he ever played. So some to make money, some as get. Now the whole building is like a tourist spot.
Is it being used as a studio still?
Nobody has the heart to. Because there's still investigation going on.
Right.
Yes, the investigation into his death is still. They closed it, but there's still some other things which are being investigated also. And then there's all the legality stuff, so it's very hard to operate it as a functioning studio. I think maybe a small part of it, but in large, it's a tourist spot for Minneapolis.
Oh dear.
Sad, right?
Yeah.
I mean, until today, there's still people going out there and putting flowers outside.
I mean, that's the danger with partnership. It can go both ways. And like, let's just imagine right now, right? We build a label and then we get musicians to come in, right? And then slowly we have more and more partners, more and more investors. We grow, right? And then we seek to continuously do big things. But then our people that invest in us, they also expect more returns, what?
Correct.
In order to pay me more money.
Then in the end, too many chefs in the kitchen lah.
Yeah, and then, right, who they will suck the money from? The artist that's making the money. So at first it's 50-50, then become 60, 70.
So that's probably what's happened in the past before with the physical releases and everything. I don't know about the digital market now, because it's so hard to understand. I was trying to learn about it more, because my friend used to actually be one of the heads of Universal. He just quit like last year.
Damn, like Universal Singapore?
Yeah, before that he was in Warner Music. He's an old friend, my God, I knew him since I was 15. And he's been in music. He used to work for Valentine's for 20 years. And then he came out working for Warner, and he said, so you just need, the funny thing is, there are different deals. If they wanted to promote one song, right, that one song by itself already should have really high streams on Spotify.
Or they will only promote what already working lah.
Yeah, what's already working.
Right.
They want it to be easier for them. Unless you're talking about the whole album. Yeah, but they're so big, they bought over so many things now. He personally signed Jasmine Soko,
Okay.
which is in Warner, and he signed the Disco Hue as well.
Amazing.
Yeah. Because he was, okay, a lot of people who are labels are not actually music people. They just get their jobs because they're graduates.
Yep.
Most of the time.
It's administrative people,
Yeah.
basically.
So he was one of the few in the market that was genuinely a music person because he came from music background. I mean, working in a vinyl shop and everything. I used to buy records from him when I was like 15, 16, man.
Valentine's also another historical side.
Yeah, legacy.
Legacy.
I mean, honestly, it was amazing back then.
Yeah, so like we are saying, like there's a lot of chefs in the kitchen, right? A lot of executives and investors, but very few musicians that is like actually generating the buck within a particular label, right? It's very similar to what Elon Musk recently said in the Joe Rogan podcast. It's the same in the car company. What? Why Japanese car company is so successful and American car companies are not? Because American car company, right, got 6 people beating the drum and 1 person rolling the boat. Whereas Japanese one, right, got 1 person beating the drum, 6 people rolling the boat. And then when in America, right, when there's something wrong, they fire the person rolling the boat.
Yeah. They don't go after the top.
Yeah.
Because who is at the top? Their tops are so, oh my god, they are so messed up. No? They are really so messed up.
Like who? The labels?
I mean, I think in terms of US, their culture, their conglomerates, the way they get stuff, even governmental bodies. Because recently I know it sounds horrible, nerdy. I was following the whole UFO conference the past few days.
UFO
about they're trying to declassify things.
I mean, Trump says that you want to declassify.
No, there's a major thing going on the past few days but strangely enough, it is not going on mainstream media for a certain generation, but it's on Forbes, it's on CNBC. There's actually a long, supernaturally, like how many hours live, the live conferences that go on YouTube, they are talking about it. So they're saying that even the reports of like parts that have been found over the years, apparently they can't even get all the what do you call it? The divisions to come together and share information. All the departments. And they're all pushing the buck. It's but so why? Messy. So I think it's their culture. So if you're talking about so many people on top, like investors in labels, right? But then there are less artists below. It's probably the same thing. It's probably their culture. But Asians are better at streamlining and more functional.
Asians are better.
Like Japanese they're better at streamlining.
Oh, okay. Asian people. I thought like
the Asian integrity of work stuff. Don't waste time, just get it done. Why do you think China's flying so fast? They didn't waste time for the past 3 decades.
Yeah. That's why.
Yeah, which is amazing. So, but the thing is, labels, in the dance music realm, right, there's so many independent labels. Do they have the same problem?
I feel like...
Let's say Monster Cat. That's the only one that comes to mind for some strange reason. I'm not even a Marshmallow fan. But yeah.
Is Defected independent?
I think so.
Independently owned.
It used to be. I mean, when I really never looked into that.
NCS, no copyright sounds.
Yeah, that one's a YouTube channel, right?
Yeah. It's also like label, Selected.
Digital, right? Yeah, Selected. Oh, I remember them. They all came out at the time, right? And then everyone was like into them. But I don't know, is Majestic Casual one of them?
I think so. It's all those YouTube channel labels eventually become label. Selected is so big, they even have a Selected stage on Tomorrowland.
Oh, it's so cool.
Damn, yeah. All these YouTube labels are banging, man.
You see, these guys I respect because at least they kept it. I'm sure they must have had their downtimes.
Of course.
But they never gave up.
Yeah, so I think you can take a reference of YouTube, right? YouTube being the most successful platform for creators to monetize. If you're a creator or an influencer, right, the end game should always be YouTube because it is the most fair.
Yeah, correct.
They take 50, you take 50. And it has been like that for 30 years, So they never let time or greed change them, which is great. But unlike other social media platforms, we can't really say the same. Most other social media platforms, you can't even monetize from them.
Are we talking about social media or are we talking about streaming?
Social media and streaming is the same thing.
Yeah, I hear so many things about Spotify, like so much negativity, but it's really that bad.
I guess...
I don't use Spotify now. I'm still that guy that if I want to hear my music, I go YouTube.
I use both. I use SoundCloud as well.
Yeah.
I think at the end of the day, right, everything is business. A lot of musicians, right, I feel, right, when they come into music, they think this is a 9-to-5 job. It's not, music, right, is a business.
Yeah.
Every transaction, I want to play this gig, right, is a business. And whether you can ask for more fees or not, right, is based on how much leverage you have.
Have you ever toured overseas before?
I never toured, but I played 1 or 2 shows overseas.
Independently or under
representing-
somebody?
Representing Zouk Out, promoting Zouk Out.
Oh, while you're working for Zouk lah.
Yeah.
But after that,
After that, I don't think so.
you don't want to.
I would if there is an opportunity lah. Yeah.
But you're good though. You should.
But it doesn't matter, you see. It's not about how good you are as your social
Oh, yeah,
media
true
numbers.
lah.
Yeah, it doesn't matter if you're good. Like I always say, man, back in the day, I do this
But you
useless thing
want
called
to. If you
practice.
want to, maybe you should make it happen.
Yeah.
I feel like if you go out there and you make it happen, you will give hope to people. There are a lot of people in the market who look up to you, especially with this show and everything. You become a new icon by just doing this. I know that you started this during COVID, right? Or around that period.
Right after COVID, actually. Yeah.
I remember, no, I was bedridden watching your videos.
I mean, I have vlogs.
time I couldn't really
I
walk.
have a lot lah. Vlogs, interview, not podcast lah.
Yeah, so I think
A lot of content.
spending some time taking care of yourself all night would actually be a good thing. Go out and represent us. We need more people from here that's like getting out here playing gigs overseas.
Yeah, easier said than done, man.
Yeah
I
lah,
would
it's
love
definitely
to.
not easier
I would
lah.
love to play overseas if there's an opportunity. But then the thing is, I think a very important part of an artist's identity is like your production also lah. You need to define your sound. Then
right.
people know how to book you, ma.
Correct.
Yeah, I'm like
Start
this
that
open
again.
format DJ for so
Leonard
long.
needs to happen.
Funny enough, right? I have one song that has 500,000 plays on
No, I asked.
SoundCloud.
I actually was looking for your stuff. I asked what's his face. Suddenly his name slipped my mind. The guy got banned because he cuts out K-pop people. Antonio. I asked him to actually whether you have any.
Releases.
Yeah, but he said you're done production for the podcast, but not so much for. You don't have a SoundCloud with all your releases, right?
I have. I do a lot of remixes back then, like maybe like 30, 20 plus 30.
I want to hear
plus. Yeah, my best one I got 500,000, just reached 500,000. Yeah, it's a remix of Arcade lah. And
Okay, fire.
no, it's a 2022 pop song, Arcade, by shit, I forget what the artist is already lah. But yeah, it is like a melodic dubstep lah, and it's like not what I play,
During that era, lah.
2022 only,
Is Lloyd Dubstep still a thing?
it's still niche lah. It's not mainstream
I
lah.
thought it was at one point.
Because at that time, my philosophy was like, okay, I want to be a producer. I need to be known for a sound, right? But fuck, I'm an open format DJ. I love everything. So how? Every genre.
What do you like more?
That's the thing. I play 10, 15 genres in every set till now at Nova, So I'm like, that is like my trademark lah. People book me for that. So I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so okay. So how can I figure out what sound, right, that I like and I know how to make easily? So I just make 20 remixes, all different genre lah, and then somehow the melodic dubstep one, fucking 500,000. The rest is like 10,000. Not so great lah. And then I'm like, okay, shit. Those like hard melodic kind of crossover kind of sound is apparently what I'm good at lah. So I'm like kind of like focusing on that.
But which market interests you more?
The
underground or the overground?
I am the
Middle ground.
fifth middle ground. Like, how to say, pop music structure, but underground sounding, like Cream, like John Summit, that kind. Yeah.
Jonas Blue.
Jonas Blue, I think he really go too cheese already.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he above ground already now. But then
Pretty
I
boy.
like the, because in the middle, right, you kind of are able to be friends with both and understand both cultures. And I like that a lot. I mean, especially I come from a hardcore turntablism background.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Yeah, so I have a
Then
deep
again, so did
appreciation.
Anthony Papa and so did Carl Cox.
Yeah, that's why a lot of things happening during the set.
Yeah lah.
Live programming.
But when you went to play and started producing, it became a different 4/4 identity. Yeah.
Correct. So you
A-Track also, I love A-Track.
Oh, A-Track, another
Yeah.
legend.
I was lucky enough to see his sets before, and I actually enjoyed his Zuka set one time. It was he was supposed to a smaller tent,
Maybe
I don't know why.
because
I think that was before you
underground.
joined.
Maybe underground.
It wasn't that I don't know why they consider it underground. It sounded commercial to me, but nice commercial, and it was very interesting.
But in Singapore,
Yeah lah, that's the problem with this country. Yeah, but he's so interesting though. Even his DMC sets were interesting. His Zouk sets were interesting.
I like his home practice sets, man, that he put up on Instagram. It's crazy.
Because I like indie disco, right?
Yeah.
And he does remix.
He is indie disco.
Yeah, he remixes a lot for them.
Yeah.
I think he's even remixed for the XX before.
Yeah. And his brother also, they both.
Yeah, what's the brother's name?
Shit, I forget already. I think the brother used the real name. Yeah.
But is he still a thing now? I don't think the younger generation know who A-Track is, right?
I don't think so.
I think trends change so fast.
But A-Track is still very relevant in that scene.
Oh, I'm sure he is. I think sometimes you don't have to be relevant to the younger, as long as you're relevant to the people who want to pay for your shit, like book you either DJ or to produce.
Personally, I'm very interested in the European and American markets because I feel like
Well, that's kind of the whole world, isn't it?
you might think so, but then the thing is, you see, in Asia we are still copying them.
Oh, you're talking about West versus East, is it?
No because you asked me which market if I want to play overseas, would I prefer, right? Yeah.
Oh, when I say which market, I'm talking about sound-wise. I think you need to identify...
You mean genre?
I think genre sound-wise, you need to make that sound you first.
Right.
And be okay with that. But when you play live, yeah, you can mix it up.
Yeah.
Because I think that's what a lot of people do also.
Yeah.
And you know...
like John Summit is like the house guy, right? But when he played DMB, all come out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I mean, that's been done before. So even Laurent Garnier used to do that. I'm not a DP, but it's amusing when he did that. Is he out of nowhere? He's like, because in the UK, there's a very weird culture. A lot of people who like drum and bass also like techno. Yeah. And DMB is very much a UK's like heritage. In fact, the whole pie chart from
UKG, DMB.
two-step. I mean, two-step came a bit later, but then it all started with jungle. Actually, it all started with punk, with ska. It's a whole interesting... British music history is very, very interesting. And I personally like one sound which is not very popular because it'll put people to sleep. It's called dub techno.
Is it like minimal?
It can be minimal, but the effects are... The origins actually come from dub bands, from reggae dub. It's very... You know the dub sound? It's a bit like reggae sound. So it's the way it's produced. It's very cerebral. It's not something to lose your shit over.
Right.
But it just makes you feel like you're floating, and it's such a nice sound. So maybe that's why a lot of people here... I'm sure there could be some people playing dub maybe in HQ or something. But I don't think it's something that'd be very popular because what works here is obvious.
Yeah. And here is a drug-free zone.
You see, this is where, as someone who's actually never really done it,
Yeah.
I don't think that you need drugs to enjoy good music.
But you're a connoisseur, different. You're not normal people.
I like dancing.
That's why you dancer.
No, I remember when I was one of my dreams when I was younger was to dance on a platform of international club, and that dream actually came true. I actually ended up in fabric dancing. So people, and because I have earrings, right? So people used to come up to me and ask me whether I'm a dealer. Then I said no. Then I said, then where do you get yours? I said, I'm not on it.
I got it from my mama.
Then I said, I'm just happy and lucky enough to be here and enjoy the night. And just at the time my spine was okay. So I can just go like a few hours straight. And then everyone's friendlier than here somehow. You make friends on a platform, hang out. Gender is not even an issue, no one gives a shit. Even Gayners, they're playing funky techno, no? So weird, right? So different from here. They're playing like that time there was a short popularity, a thing called tech funk. So that was like early 2000s. And I was very into Dave Angel. So I used to play that kind of stuff for Gaynor also. So it's like, then I realized, you don't really need drugs. Yeah, like you say, maybe for people who are really into the music. But maybe it's a part of Western culture that we should not have embraced.
Yeah, I think it forces you to DJ better.
What, drugging?
No, as in without drugs, right? In a drug-free zone, right? You have to DJ better to keep people engaged, right? Yeah.
No, not just that, but you need the crowd more than you need the DJs. So if you have a crowd that can appreciate good music without the drugs, isn't that more important?
Yeah.
Because you can have all these DJs who can play all that kind of music, right? But then they are meaningless if they have no crowd to play to. If the crowd doesn't even appreciate it and they need to be on something, isn't that a problem?
Do you think stress contribute to Singaporeans not appreciating music? Like, just focus on earning money. Fuck listening to new music Fridays, man. I just listen to old Lady Gaga lah.
Yeah, but then then there's also a bunch of people who are going Siam Tues.
That's even older, the songs.
No, the new generation of Siam Tues.
Like what?
All the new outlets, there's like all the hardstyle ones.
It doesn't have to be some... But then again, hardstyle is like recycling old songs, right?
Oh, they're doing flips, right? Now they call them flips. Actually, they're bootlegs lah.
Yeah lah.
Gen Z's use flips.
Yeah.
I don't know, I haven't been to a Siam Tue for a long time, but I just watched on videos. I was like, why just bang and bang and bang and bang? How do they handle it the whole night long? All drunk already, right?
Maybe alcohol makes you aggressive, amped up.
Yeah.
You can handle...
It's like seriously, like in KL, in Malaysia, they call it Feng Tao music, right? So that's kind of like escalated to something else now. And now Singapore has all these Siam Tue outlets. But people still go to these outlets. I don't know, I think that the thought for someone to actually sit behind a comment, because let's face it, you want to find new music, you sit behind a computer. you can't do that on the go because you can't focus. Yeah. You won't have the joy of sitting behind a com and just trolling through YouTube. Like I still do that lah. But I can't remember what's the stuff.
Spotify got new music Friday and everything, give you new music. But release radar.
To really get into it, I think you need to really focus. It's better to be like by yourself. You're walking on the road, you cannot 100% engage. And especially like the older generations, they were lucky enough to even be in households where they had bigger speakers. Now when speakers are squashed down to tininess, right, you don't take it as seriously.
Yeah.
Like I don't like listening to music outside. No? Like if I want to play a track, right, I make sure I'm not doing anything. Then I'm lucky enough to have like nice little speakers at home. I don't have
production what?
Yeah, I mean I don't produce, but I just want to enjoy it, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like, and I'm still that guy, like every time I find something interesting, I'll message Robin. And sometimes he'll send me something. Like I got very excited a couple of years ago. Hey, Manson has a new track. I'm very happy. As in Mary Manson. So he had this track called We Are Chaos. So I was very excited. Yeah, I'm that guy who still likes my industrial, my golf, and my duck.
Okay.
Like Nine Inch Nails for that. So and when bands come in, then I realize, hey, Foles still releasing stuff. I get very happy. You know the Foles?
The Foles and all.
The band, yeah, Indie Boy. So that's why I check out all this stuff. So it's like, but I think for most people, they just have no patience.
No, but I think also, right, like, let's just say you get home from a shag-ass day of work, right? When you on Spotify or YouTube, you just want to go back to something familiar to make yourself feel good.
They're not cute, yeah.
Finding something new is like, I might not like this, kind of feeling.
It's a different mentality now.
Right.
But it's very strange. There were people who were shag and tired back in the late 90s.
Yeah, like everybody shag.
A lot of my friends I met, right, were all at record shops and vinyl shops. And a lot of them came to Roxy Records or like HMV Register and Thai.
See, back then, right, people still buy physical copies, no? So there's actually a reason for people to gather. Yeah, now it's like, why should I gather? I got Spotify, everything. What's a good reason for people to gather and have parties?
No, party is one thing, but you see, party is not where you get music education. Because you never know who's really paying attention.
It can be parties, it can be digging, but now also no digging already, right?
I gotta say though, I mean, it may sound cliche, I do miss the eras when there were CD shops and vinyl shops. But then you see, this generation will never know that because the wonderful thing of actually meeting people at these shops, right? And some of these people actually becoming lifelong friends.
Yeah.
And then you actually have personal friendships with them outside of that whole thing. So when you meet them at shops, right, they're your personal friends that you share purchasing hobbies with. And then sometimes you club with them. But you can still talk to them about personal problems.
Yeah, then eventually if your beliefs align, then you'll be lifelong friends.
Yeah. I met so many, man. And sometimes you a bit groupie, then you meet your favorite DJ at the record shop, like, oh my god, it's him. Like there was an ex-Zoom resident I used to really, really like.
Yeah.
But I never, for almost the entire the 90s, I never even got a chance to really talk to him. He was just like there, but I loved his sets. And then I met him at Roxy. And I think he saw something I was picking up. And then he looked at me, he smiled. Then I was like, oh my god, John, you smile at me. And then he said, oh, you like this kind of stuff? Maybe you can try this thing. Then he started recommending me records. That's how I discovered Tech House. Like the real Tech House.
Wow.
Not this whatever's going on right now. Like when Yucatec and the original French Tech House sounds and all that. Then I liked it. He said, oh, you like breaks, you can play with this. I was like, oh my god, Jonathan, you're recommending me tracks. And then we became friends. That's how I met him. I actually met him at Roxy when Roxy was at the old Funan.
So right now, right, you look at so many collectives, like you mentioned, there's so many collectives and all throwing parties, right? Back then, it's easier to gather people because there are these kind of like small things like digging in a record shop or meeting
randomly,
do stuff, There's more opportunities to meet and build relation, and then eventually when you have a gig, right, you can easily chill everybody because you already have that connection, right? But now it's so difficult to chill people.
And I think people are not as open to talking to strangers. Yeah. Like you see, like when I met Tyler, I heard Tyler before I saw Tyler. Okay, because I was with a friend, and this was before TBC. So before TBC, I think the company had already booked that plot. They knew they were going to build a club there.
Yep.
So they had a temporary pop-up thing called the Shack. It was like a pop. Oh, dude, it was gorgeous.
That one also Shack.
No, it was literally a container, a PSA container.
Yep.
Cut out into a pop-up bar and done Hawaiian, tiki lamps or like those dangling lights. It was beach party style. It was like miniature there. So basically, I think Cheng was singing out one of those beers, right? Actually had like a big party there, and he was playing. And I didn't see. I was walking around with my friend. And I heard the sound, this new disco sound. I was like, oh my god, shit! I love this shit. Who's playing this? I can't see because there's so many people dancing, right?
Yeah.
And then I went to the front and said, hey, wow, hot white guy. And it's like, in my mind, you always think I expect someone to play banging sound, but this guy was so soulful. And it's like, I just think the transition, the track selection is like, I just stood there and listened. What, damn nice. Then at the end of it, we somehow went and talked to him and became friends, and then that's 13 years ago. So sometimes you just, want to... Remember last time, I don't really remember, I used to just stand by the corner of Future and watch you play.
Who?
You.
Who watched me?
Me.
You?
Yeah.
Future? Which Future? Zoo at Jakim?
No, Clarky.
Clarky, yeah.
Yeah.
Is it?
When you were playing outside, yeah.
I think you're like everywhere.
Sometimes observing, I was like, wow, I'm very fascinated. Because I don't have the herd mentality. You must have your friends and a whole bunch. I think I've never been there. That's why I experience a lot more than more people. Good and bad because I don't have a bunch of friends. But at the same time, I see a lot of things.
Yep.
Like, okay, when I was young, me and my friends did boliao things on. We'll go into clubs for the fun of it. Like, even 20 plus years, like, go to the 4th floor Lucky Plaza, there's a Pinoy club. Just to check out what they play there. Just out of K-poners. Or like, go and check out Kertai music. I see, because it's K-pop, natural K-poners. Yeah. That curiosity doesn't really exist nowadays for people. Just want to hear, the punk scene, the goth scene, or just to hear what people are playing, to experience it at some point. Before, but now I see everyone's doing their own thing, right?
Yeah.
And everyone's doing their own thing.
So back to
There's no expandability.
The indie labels in EDM.
Yeah.
Right. With major labels, they are monopolizing everything. But with EDM scene, everybody's doing their own thing, right? Is the scene any better from that? Is it too segregated?
Here's the thing. I think the labels that used to be independent that got big on their own are bought over by big labels. If I'm not mistaken, Spinning Records also used to be independent. Now it's owned by Universal.
Yeah. Eventually, it's like, you make a big company, you want an IPO, right?
So basically, I think what the big labels do go around buying all the small boys. Yeah. But they'll buy the small boys that are big in their own field.
Yeah,
so
genre.
Maybe even Defected could be owned by a...
Yeah.
If you go and backtrack, right, it could be owned by a big label.
Yeah, who knows, right? Defected.
But I think are there very many complaints now from dance artists about losing money? Or like they're getting paid less, getting taken advantage of?
Maybe not. I think at the end of the day, a lot of EDM artists are really indie, right? Not so...
dance music in general, it doesn't need to be EDM per se. It could be anything.
Yeah.
Because I know for the house and techno side, a lot of them don't really care about the label side. They're all signed to like independent labels. Then you have the guys who actually release only on vinyl, let's say. Because I love to like troll... until now, I still check out Juno, Juno.co.uk. And those are all really independent labels. Like, you never heard of them. And a lot of the white labels. So I think those guys may not be doing it for the money alone. Maybe they're really doing it for the pure art form. Yep. Then you have the commercial boys for doing it and hoping to earn from it. I still think that a lot of them, especially in their own countries, right, earn from touring more.
Yeah, of course lah. Everything lah. Even we can even talk about Drake. Drake also earn mostly from touring. So your biggest artist, the smallest.
But Drake is technically a pop artist lah.
Yeah, same lah. Touring is the thing that makes the most
and
money.
Merchandise.
And merch, yes. Yeah, I was about to say.
No, I mean if you're smart, then for the black artists, they're very known for starting clothing brands.
Yeah.
For the longest time. Street shoes, sneakers, so they make shitloads of that. And then the female artists, toiletries and everything. So I think they know there's a limitation, so they really want to hit that. Unless you're lucky like Taylor, who is a father who literally bought into shares of labor, then
that's a living life on easy mode lah.
Yeah.
But the thing
she's living the life of a new.
The thing is, she make it to this level. I think also got to give her some credit as well, to being the highest, right? Not many rich kids make it so big, right?
In this era.
Yeah, but with
Maybe
so many
so who knows?
labels, so many collective, right? Everybody's just doing their own thing, right? Do you find that there's like a lack of unity?
You're talking about in Singapore or you're talking about worldwide?
I think let's talk about Singapore first, then eventually worldwide. I think it's the same, right?
I think the disadvantage now of the scene, right? A lot of times people got into different kinds of sounds and met different people because they are walk-in clubs.
Yeah, walk-in clubs.
Walk-in. Like
clubs.
you could accidentally meet people and hear different things by just going to, even just 10 years ago, people who didn't really know what house was, they could just hear like, hey, Kyo sounds cool, I want to go to Kyo, and then happen to like the sound.
Right.
And they happen to meet more people. But you don't have that now. Everything is so much more expensive. And then for these collectives, right, why would someone accidentally pop into a collective party?
Yeah.
You have to, you wouldn't, the ticket's a lot cheap anyway.
Invited.
Like say for example, your parties, when you're doing them, right? How often do you get a 100% stranger who didn't know anyone in the room, didn't know who was involved, just rock out and buy a ticket?
Yeah, very rare. Like
why would they do that?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Even though, in theory, you should be curious to try things.
Yeah.
But people
are not built this way.
Especially after COVID, because firstly, actually not firstly, that's all leave. Firstly, secondly, thirdly.
Yeah,
if it's free entry, people might just come in. But those days you could walk into a club for free. Oh yeah, guest list or whatever, say, and see because if you're regular enough, you earn your right to be guest list, right?
Yeah.
Because the club people who work there, they know you're loyal, you come back.
Yeah.
Especially if you're part of the scene, you get GL to everywhere.
Yeah.
But you support, you go in, you buy drinks.
Yeah.
And then you support the night, and then you're up fucking to the front when the guest is playing.
Yeah.
And you're making the floor look good because you're really losing your shit
Yeah.
when someone's playing.
Yeah,
So you're actually supporting the party that says, you know, like some guy is like, the mixing not nice. That's some nerd in some corner before we never get late. So, but these days you cannot have that because everything is so pricey. So the question is, how is this thing going to grow and survive if prices are so high everywhere? And then you have all this, because I saw a space that I really, really love just last week, in fact. Someone recommended me this potential space to maybe set up 2 classes in the small room. But they have this huge warehouse looking space which they rented, right? It's like, oh my god, if you have the right people to do parties here, right, maybe something can be done. And then check for licensing, all that. I could show you a picture of it, it's gorgeous, man. And it's at Jalan Besar. Yeah, it could be like those old warehouse brick. It could almost, done right, it could be like almost like the old Kilo.
Damn.
But space bigger.
Yeah, with everything in Singapore so expensive,
Yeah,
how do you make it happen?
You see, we need to ask the unique kids, the real kids out there, why are you guys not listening to different music and why are you not trying out different events?
I got an idea. Why don't, right, like, I don't know, your favorite alcohol brand, partner with your favorite DJ, partner with your favorite production house. And then you just
What kind of production house? DJ production house?
can be like Deepak Gale, you know? Yeah. And then, right, you just throw events, right, at cost price to spread your name, lah. And then eventually when you big already, right, then you guys can like tour as a group, right, worldwide. And that's how you build, lor. Do you
I think
think
that's
so?
a possibility. That's a lot of work though, but you need to understand the mechanics of that.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind working with someone to sit down, open Google Docs and just stare at the screen to throw ideas at it and formulate.
Yes.
Because that's really where it really comes down to. And then
Yes.
through years I realized a lot of DJs in Singapore, right, over the generations, they don't like doing the boring stuff.
Yeah.
They realize everything is still business. And business starts from an idea. And an idea needs to be put down on paper, but or
Every
a
idea
and
still
write down.
needs fuel. You need
Yeah.
money.
You need to first you need a form. You need to lay everything out first. You need to bullet point that shit from idea to concept to how to monetize it. No, first you need to put down what makes your thing interesting.
Yeah. You need to stand out, right?
Yeah.
So many people DJ.
You need to you see one of my favorite nights that Singapore has ever had, right, was Pop Tart. To me, it stopped being a night long time ago. It became a lifestyle. No, a lifestyle. It became a philosophy. Yeah, you know what I mean? It became a community, solid community. I used to go to Pop Tart before. I'm a groupie, man. Yeah, and I had some of the best nights. Then you see, even like what Leslie has done with progressions.
Progression.
It's such a movement. So you see, those are the moments why I don't know whether I hope the young guys now can actually go to that level. But you see, somehow the way they designed the nights, right, was never non-inclusive.
Wait, what? Was never non-inclusive?
Yeah, so they
Never non.
Yeah, so you see, they could keep it going for so long because people keep hearing about it and new people can't come. Whoever went to the first Pop Tart probably has 2 kids now. They're not going out.
Yeah.
But you see, over the span of 17, 18 years,
Keep replacing.
how? You see, that's the beauty of it. And the same with
The
progression.
sound still is like,
The sounds maybe can change because tracks change sometimes, right?
Yeah.
Like when you first started out, it was more
but it still follows the general idea.
the general idea. But the beauty is, it's not, when you go there, you don't feel like, hey, I feel out of place.
Never non-inclusive.
Yeah, it's never.
That means it's like inclusive environment.
Yeah, but it's the genuine inclusive without even having to say we are inclusive. When you start saying we are inclusive, that to me sounds pretentious really. So you see, with all the younger collectives, right, if they know how to grow that so that, it can expand for another 10 years, right, then it's fantastic. But will they hold, you see, that is
But being
dedication.
inclusive is so difficult, man.
No, because now it's become an agenda. That's the problem.
In what sense?
The fact that we're using the word inclusive is becoming no one ever said inclusive 10 years ago.
Yeah lah. Yeah lah. It's like the inclusive D and I.
And then you have these events those are like virtue signaling right there. Straight party want to put rainbow for
Virtual what?
Virtue signaling.
Virtual signal. What's
It's
that?
like trying to force we are such good people. We are virtue signaling.
Right.
I see like restaurants and events all purposely go put the rainbow flag on their post for what? I've been going to places my whole life. I didn't need a rainbow flag to be invited.
But being inclusive is like truly inclusive, right? It's fucking difficult.
Yeah, it's
Because
genuine.
As a standard human being, you might not like some people, you know?
Yeah, but as an organizer,
Yeah.
you have to at least project the image that you are selling a celebration.
Yeah.
Like the DJs playing need to be fair. All the organizers, you go to these parties. You've been to some of these nights I mentioned before, right?
Yeah.
So you didn't feel like you stick out like a sore thumb, right?
No.
Because we were from that generation, we are also a bit more street smart. But the younger kids nowadays are not so street smart.
Oh,
They're more
everybody now is more timid.
I feel,
I
especially.
thought Gen Z now have this trend called main character energy, where everybody is the main character.
The ones I see, a lot of them are from university, so a lot of them tend to be very like introverted.
Right.
They may feel like main character, but they need a whole bunch of main characters with them. Like 5-6 people one together, then they feel that. One person, no. They won't like rock up to a club alone or to a party alone.
Right.
And now a really shortage of clubs that play interesting music. That you can just walk in. Cover charges are crazy.
Yeah, but can clubs survive playing interesting music?
Yeah, these days not in the mainstream areas.
Yeah, well.
Because the locations, that's the problem. Even a lot of people who used to like Zouk, once you went to Clarke Quay, just lost its buzz.
Maybe you need to open a club in Woodlands or something with low rental, and then you can make it.
You see, the cuts, everything is being developed so much. You never know. If the investor wanted to invest something, right, will the building be unblocked
within like 10 years or something, right?
within 10 minutes? You never know anything.
It's
Yeah, it's scary. And the number of even this place. When I asked the guys running the studio, right, do they know what's the shelf life of this building? They couldn't answer me. But I said, go look into that if you want to run this place long term. Because the rent that they're paying is quite decent for their own space. And that building is actually known for, apparently, what's that YouTube channel?
Jalan Besar.
Yeah, something Riot. What? Riot TV, I think they're there in that building now.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
Riot TV is like, is it that TikTok?
The YouTube, TikTok thing, right?
Right.
Yeah, so the office is in their building. So I think they're attracting a lot of these creative type tenants.
Right.
So it could be like the new cool hub. The only thing which is scary is HDB is being built right in front of it. So we don't know about the soundproofing and everything. It's do you know where Hotel Boss is?
G-Met?
Hotel Boss at Lavender.
No.
You've probably seen it. It's
Hotel Boss.
yeah.
What's that?
You know the one near Lavender MRT just before that, there's this ultra hideous looking hotel. The lobby is like ridiculous, but people will stay there. There's only one hotel next to the canal. So this place is diagonally, you've definitely seen it. So this building is diagonally across from it. It's called Domain 603.
Okay, so what about the building?
That space is amazing. So it's spaces like that people can set up shop, but the thing is, how do you draw people? I still think there's a lot of younger people who are not going out anymore, especially after COVID.
Yeah.
I feel like the moment they turn 18 in COVID, because by default, most time when you turn 18, you want to party,
Go
right?
club, yeah.
Or you want to do something just to let loose. Now, if you've been cuckolded for 2 years, you miss that window already, right?
You don't feel the need.
Yeah, you don't feel the need. The excitement is not there. And also, if you sway, those 2 years are up, you went to NS, 2 years of
Oh my god.
man mode. And then by the time you come out, you're focusing on what you're going to do. Not everyone's going to go to uni. Some people are going to do extended poly and all that. So the last thing they're going to think of, I want to learn about new music and party. That is such a cool thing to do because my life depends on it.
Yeah.
No, they won't. So I won't be surprised if partying numbers have shrunk.
Yeah.
Oh, do you think they have?
Of course.
A lot,
It's,
right?
it's a fact. The people that don't think this is true, they are lying to themselves, or they are clearly blind.
Or just, they may not have the experience.
Or maybe they want to project a perfect image so that, oh my god, my night is so amazing. It's like so many people, you know? Yeah.
Quite sad, right?
But it is. I mean, at the end of the day, it's like gimmicks, marketing, smoke mirrors, music industry, nightlife, full of this kind of shit.
Then the thing I see now, which is quite sickening, the people who like their underground music are not spending on it as compared to the ones 15 years ago. Before that, we like acts. I mean, not just me, like what I've seen all the way until at least about 2010, right?
Right.
You go to the new disco nights, you go to the house nights, you go to Q. People are still going to buy drinks.
Right.
But now they're not. They will go for the music, but they don't really spend. I'm just watching videos of people, I can see everyone's on the dance floor, the perimeter, who's holding a drink? Nobody. Then people are telling me, people are coming in, they're paying for the tickets, but they're not spending on drinks. They're not, maybe because the drinks are more expensive, or they're not the drinking kind, but maybe they don't realize to sustain this kind of subculture, right? Spend a bit lah. Money can earn back, but experiences you can't.
But we don't have a solution for all this.
Yeah.
People don't spend, people don't come out.
Last time was a different culture though. Before the guys just started, all we get jugs.
Yeah.
All standby already.
I mean, with the introduction of Netflix, right, cinema goers definitely also go down, right?
Yeah.
So that's why now cinema is really focusing a lot on IMAX. Last time you can only watch one IMAX film per day. Now it's like every other hour is like IMAX,
Yeah,
IMAX,
correct.
IMAX,
You
IMAX.
said already.
Yeah, so it's like it gives people a reason to go out lah because of the extra quality.
I think that started with the torrent thing also.
Yeah lah. Torrenting is like way before Netflix.
But it's still very active now. It's just that now people are used to the streaming services for shows
Right.
because it's easier, right? Although it's in a way still more hassle. So a lot of shows, because if what you subscribe to doesn't have certain shows, you won't even know those shows exist.
Yes, correct.
And as a TV fan who luckily still torrents, I get to see a lot of things across the board.
Right.
So I think even the same with music. It's going to be quite scary now, Singapore's future of nightlife.
Yeah, it is lah.
And then like I don't know, is Iki still doing parties, right?
Yeah.
Who else is doing interesting parties? There are very few spaces that you can just pop in or even organize a party at.
But then again, this will be pop up, and how do you attract people not within the social group?
Yeah.
See, that's also the problem.
I mean, maybe TikTok. But then you see, your TikTok has to be corny enough to get their attention.
and the thing must happen already.
Yeah.
Then you
it's
can
post.
then you can attract people to the next one.
Yeah, it needs to be post coverage.
What about the first one?
So it's a chicken and egg situation. But the thing is, what would the first one be about?
Yeah, precisely.
And especially for the DJs, not all of them are social. Not all of them are extroverted. Not all of them are going to think of ideas. Because no matter what you want your night to work, you need to think of a USP.
Yeah.
If you want to do the same sound that everybody else is playing, and that, let's face it, there's still a limitation of genres out there.
Yep.
I mean, you want to push the boundaries and do a genre which is too weird,
Nobody will come.
then your night has to be weird.
Yeah.
Then your night has to be different. And then you end up, then the whole thing needs to be different. You cannot do like a normie and want to play some weird industrial sound.
Yep.
It doesn't work.
Yeah.
And now, like,
Correct.
I don't even know what's in trend now.
I mean, mainstream, it's just big room.
You see, there's one guy doing something, I really feel for him. I saw, in fact, indirectly, I got to know him because of you.
Who?
I was watching him play the earlier set, Carlo Tendi.
Mm.
That guy is doing cool stuff, man. He's really I feel like he's doing it because he's really passionate for it.
Yeah, he wants to be Martin Garrix.
Oh, really? I feel really bad for him because, okay, he was busking in Orchard. So my friend actually sent me a video.
But it's for content, dude.
Yeah,
It's
no,
not actually needing the money.
because it's hard as it is, I think.
Huh?
You think it's really just for content? I think he enjoys it.
Of course, it's for content. Everything is about marketing, promoting your next single. Yeah. Why are you like randomly basking when you don't need the money?
Yeah, lah.
Yeah.
But I just felt like people were apparently walking by and giving him weird looks.
No, but that's perfectly fine. It's good. It's good engagement. It's smart.
It's just sad that this day and age, you see a DJ playing, you give them weird looks. Those days, you see someone playing guitar and singing some sad song all together.
Yeah. Maybe people think DJing very easy.
Yeah, that's the problem. But I like his energy though.
Yeah.
I think his heart's in the right place. Like it's something at some university, and also, yeah, he's got energy, man.
Yeah.
It'd be fun to see more buskers who are. But I don't know. I never asked him how is he set up like.
What do you mean by setup? Like what?
Like his Orchard, how is he powering it?
Maybe like portable generator lah.
Or probably yeah.
Yeah. Or maybe those kind of like basking spots that you must rent, right? You must go through like I think Orchard or something, their website, there's this thing lah.
No, you need approval also.
Yeah.
They need
I
to know
think they
what
should
you're
have
playing.
a power plug nearby, it's situated near a lamppost or something. Probably. Yeah, I don't know the logistics lah. But yeah, interesting to find out.
Yeah. I think all these
Anyway.
small things will play a part lah. But Orchard Road may not be the best place to get awareness for music.
Yeah.
But how
And-
do we get kids into it?
Precisely. Like, okay, for example, how do Michelin star restaurants gather people? Because of the fact that people need to eat, right?
I mean, that's a different ballgame. Right? Usually
Yeah,
people
yeah.
can afford to open Michelin star restaurants, already have rich man friends and network and social circles. So it's all about, I think it still goes back to
Help each other.
networking and social circles and all that.
So maybe
What target
clubbing.
audience want to hit? You want to hit the unis? Maybe, okay, the people who are thinking about organizing things, maybe come to this agreement that, okay, we're not going to earn from this. We're just doing this as a startup. We're doing this as a way to create awareness. Content, yes, everyone loves the word content.
Yeah.
We're doing this as a way to tap onto the network. Let's go and do parties at the unis with the uni people.
Yep.
But then again, why are these people doing the parties? Because they like the music, or they want to do it for attention. Because if you tell me it's just another EDM collective, like again.
Yeah.
But if you're pushing a different sound, maybe go collaborate with the uni DJ clubs as a start.
I mean, the sound, I think, is the least important thing in a Singaporean's mind. I think most important
For
is
sure
like
lah.
connection.
No, I'm talking about the organizers. Why do they want to do it? You know what I mean?
Right. But I'm looking at like how to revive clubbing, how to get people back onto the dance floor,
Clubbing first, genre later lah.
how to increase the number of the clubber pool, so that clubs won't fight for a small number of clubs.
But where will they go?
You know? So if you have more people, then you can distribute easier lah. You know,
True, but distribute to where though?
wherever there's left lor.
What's left? You see now you have. Okay, let's talk about commercial clubs for one.
Yeah.
You have your Marquee.
Yes.
Not many people can afford. You have your Zouk. What is even happening with that? And I was told that a lot of people from Zouk have actually started going to ARC 11. And
Is it?
Yeah,
Really?
yeah,
Okay.
I'm not joking. And ARC 11 seems to be doing quite okay. And their cover, I think, is affordable.
Right.
I think it's like 25 for men or something.
Yeah. I think they're experimenting around.
Yeah, and Daniel's willing to take risks. It's honestly a nice space. It's a big risk though. It's good because it's a gigantic space. So you hit well. You pack the whole room, it really feels like an entire experience. It's bad because it's a big room.
You need to fill it up.
Yeah, if you have different rooms, then you know if one's not doing so well, you can actually depend on the other one. I honestly would love to. I want to see their place because like Daniel's a friend as well. I don't know whether you know.
Yeah.
So I hope that their place does well. And I think the drink pricing there, I'm not sure the pricing. I think it's not too bad.
Yeah. It's fine.
So you see, even if we have this crowd coming back, where do we want them to go? So depending what is the actual goal.
But it doesn't matter, you see, when you have a lot of people, you can fire them in all directions
How do you fire them?
based on their
Can
interests.
like you also got to base on their bank account.
Yeah, but we need to give them a reason to come out in the first place, ma. We cannot decide like, hey, you reach enough or not, you reach enough or not. That shouldn't.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's very hard to work it out. But we
So-
also got to think, do they need to spend so much just to experience?
Precisely.
And also at the same time, okay, I think everyone for the longest time has always had various reasons not going out.
Various.
Yeah. Like you see, like the people who went to your nights and the people who went to Tosca's nights, they may not be spenders, but they're definitely music people. They're really into it. I've seen Tosca also is another one. Solid. It's actually damn shocked to watch these videos. Yeah, it's not my music, but who cares? Everyone's like going crazy. They're really, really into it. Those kind of people do not want to go to any club. They want to go to a club where they're hearing sounds that they like, played by people that they respect.
And the vibe is all the same. The
Yes.
energetic bunch.
Yeah, I mean it can be energy, but these guys are not just energizing to anything or energizing to anything. They're really enjoying what is being dished out, and they're really supporting. So you see, that is a whole different bunch altogether. So you see, you're talking about reaching out to these people, right? These people could be everywhere. Maybe it's good to pull in these people first, then focus on the rest later, because the rest, if they're not genre into
Because
the
the rest
music,
is sheep, right?
yeah, they're sheep. They were just we can't deny, especially majority of the crowd all straight men. Straight men will go out to find chicks. So it's not if they're not the kind that can actually have game to pick up girls, right?
Right.
Then how?
That's true.
What do you
Makes
think Anonymous
sense.
still goes young too?
Makes sense.
Yeah, but then
you
Hosawa ma.
So you basically pull in your core audience first. It doesn't have to be a big amount.
It doesn't have to be a big amount, but it needs to make a big noise.
Yes, and then from there, then next step will be to figure out how to get the masses.
Yes, but then I mean, depending, do you want to benefit from that attempt of getting the masses, or is this just like something philanthropic?
No
just to
lah.
collaborate. Yeah, exactly.
We are all doing this for a living, man.
Correct. So now
Yeah.
we pull out the masses. What are we bringing them to listen to? Where are we bringing them to? And which venues? So if by the time that happens, right, where?
And then
Can we bring
maybe,
them to High House? No.
maybe when the masses comes, right,
And the masses will be how old?
we might lose our core fans.
Unless you have different projects for different people.
Yeah.
There are ways of doing that, like, you know. Like, you know, you have certain nights dedicated to these people who like their music. And because you have their awareness, you can do divisions, you can split up different brands targeting for different people. They don't need to know. Just like people know brands, but not everybody knows who's P&G. Only people who actually check out industries knows.
yeah.
Yeah, like if I tell you, like last time, say for example in Singapore's context, you have people know Get Juice, people know Chimichangas,
Yeah.
but does everyone know Insurgents?
Yeah.
Only those in the industry know. So you see, what they did was they created a very good, I think you call it holding company. So you see, the back end is to manage everything. So if you have a back end that manages everything,
Yep.
then you have one night that plays certain sounds. So it almost becomes like a company. different sounds for different people, and different marketing approaches. So you need to use, if you are involved in it, then you need two brains.
I mean, it's like how you said,
Different genres.
Universal buy different genres of record label.
Yeah, for different purposes.
Yeah.
So like you said, you also just said you like different genres. Maybe you can do different apps with different sounds.
Yeah. With different alias of
Yeah, that could be useful. That was a thing before. I don't know if it's still a thing now.
maybe. I don't know.
I know Stuart Price did it overboard. I think he killed himself.
Yeah. I mean, even the David Guetta Jack Back thing also kind of didn't really work out.
No, Stuart did well with all of them.
Stewart.
To the point that I think he forgot about himself.
Who's Stewart?
Stuart Price.
Stewart Price.
In the 90s, he came out with his first project called Les Home Digitales. So it's French electro disco, the French electro disco. And then he had other releases under Paperface. Then he had a band called Zoot Woman. And then he came out with one alter ego called Jacques Leconte. And that one blew up big time. Yeah, so a lot of his remixes for everybody was Jacques Leconte's TWD for Thin White Duke. So he had all these different personas with different sounds, Thin White Duke. And then suddenly, he just blew up. He blew up so big, right? He won Grammy Awards, no? And then he became...
Damn!
After I met him at the first lookout. Damn cool guy, one. So he ended up using his real name to produce for artists. And now he's he produced for Killers, produced for Sister Sisters. Yeah, so he uses Stuart as in Stuart. So it's gone to that level. He wanted to do a Jacques Leconte album. He released 2 singles. Was going to sit down and work on the album. Then got called to produce the album for another artist. Then
Hot can't work
so
on yourself.
basically, yeah, if you go and see his Discogs, his releases, right? He even did releases for Christina, for Missy, for a lot of people.
But being a producer and being a
He stretched himself until there was nothing left.
pop star, I think it's 2 different skills.
Oh, he's not a pop star lah.
Precisely.
He doesn't sing.
And he doesn't market himself.
Yeah.
Precisely.
No, but all his personas before he did, do you know when he came out, right, in the 90s, right? His music was so good, so interesting. DJ Mag or all those music magazines, right, actually heralded him as the bastard grandson of Kraftwerk.
Oh,
He was that, respected. People loved him.
Kraftwerk is like pioneers.
Yeah, so to call him like Kraftwerk's grandson is amazing. It's just that he spent so much time working on everyone else's projects, right? I mean, his alter egos were all interesting, but when he started working on too many other people's projects, he just forgot himself.
Yeah.
Until he had no more energy to even build his own website.
But I guess that's a good problem, right?
I think he's at an age now where he has no energy. He just continued producing for other artists. He's even done for Kylie and everything. And
I mean, it's just chilling or it's really not so hectic, like need to tour, I don't know, face a lot of people.
correct lah. But to me it's sad because sometimes when you have a unique sound, his sound wasn't mass manufactured. So when you have a sound but I think a lot of people, I think the EDM acts actually learn from him, If you hear his sound, you can actually hear the influence of electronica that came after. It's really you know that famous remix for Mr. Brightside, the ton 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 ton. That's him. Yeah. Remember the long one?
Yeah.
I'm Mr. Brightside. I know the one with the strings and the whole thing. Yeah, that was his remix.
Yeah, I know my friend Harvey, DJ Harv. Yeah, he downloaded it and he's like, oh my god, this has to be every single night's last song.
Yeah, I have
The progression is just...
I bought the vinyl for that and all the things like that. I was a Killers fan, so I collected the 12 inches. So him and Lindbergh Palace were doing quite a bit at time. Yeah, so he just got worn out. So if you want to do all these nights, right, you cannot get worn out. You need a team. But I think you still need to focus on yourself first.
Yeah,
You need to be... People like to follow icons.
Not brands, right?
It's like religions lah.
Yeah.
It's just like why me and this friend of mine was having discussion whether AI will ever take over, holographs will ever take over DJs. Said highly unlikely because people all need icons. You always need something to so-called worship.
Yeah.
It's not a bad thing. Even myself, I would love to see a live act more than a robot. I mean, novelty to see that, but still, at least for me, yes, I like Gorillaz, but I know Damon Albarn's behind it. I know Damon and I think Graham's involved as well. You know the Gorillaz, right?
I know the Gorillaz.
Yeah, but we know, for people who are the Gorillaz, we know that it's from Blur. They didn't just pop up and, oh, look at us, cartoons.
It was from Blur.
You don't know?
Oh my god, I didn't know that.
That's the guy singing is Damon Albarn.
Damn.
Oh, I thought it was well known. Oh no.
Oh, I mean, I'm not really into the Gorillaz.
He's
I only know like one song or what.
stylo.
No,
Talk of style.
I just know the song, but I don't even know the title.
Yeah, so basically Damon's very good at coming out all these projects. That's solo projects. So that was one of their solo projects.
Damn.
Yeah. So interesting, right? But anytime they want, they can still come back and perform as Blur.
It doesn't throw off the branding.
Correct. Because he's focused on the sound. And because, when you're really so skilled, you can apply one is a bit more electronic, one is a bit more rock. And I think he's supposed to come out with another project also. So something like what Ricky Gervais does lah.
Ricky Gervais, another controversial. I mean, he's like going to Emmy scolding people, but at the same time, he's like producing.
But he works hard. He works hard for it. Technically, I think comedians actually should get paid more because they
compared to
because they power them everything.
Like host, MC, everything.
They have to write. No, when you're on when you go on tour or you have your own shows, you're writing your own script. You're producing yourself. You don't have the lucky ones who always have a right hand man to like assist to like clean things up. But a lot of it is like self done. So I'm talking about the way he's written different shows over time. If you really see his entire range of TV shows, right? All there are different projects, different styles, different ideas. But he like brainchilds one, and then he doesn't make it last too long.
Right.
He doesn't like things to like wear itself out. So like some shows are only like 2 seasons and then gone.
Yeah, but I think it's like quite niche down lah. The only like internationally acclaimed one is The Office, right?
No, there are a lot of them are just that. You're talking about Asians are different. They only know The Office. I liked all of them. So you see in the US, people are watching Extras, people are watching Derek, people are watching
Afterlife.
Yeah, see that was monstrously huge.
Oh really?
Yeah, the fact that you know it's really big.
No, I know it because I watched the Ricky Gervais Golden Globe.
Yeah, so that's why he mentioned it, right? So somebody else will be watching it. That was a huge success, man. But he wanted it to just be 3 seasons. That's it.
3 seasons very long actually. Yeah.
No, but every season is 8 episodes. British shows are all very short,
right?
Like 6 to 8 episodes. So then he move on to his next thing. So you see, when you're doing like all these events, right? I think they need to be very tightly in terms of planning. Then you need to like FAQ yourself, FAQ all the way, like which venues, how you're gonna get in, how you're gonna pull the crowd. Firstly, how you're gonna get the crowd, how you're gonna get them in. What venues do we have now? Like say based on today's terrain, what do we have?
Yeah.
What's left? Would you want to go back to Zouk and do parties there?
I mean, it's a good space.
But is it? I don't know. Are people still going to Clarke Quay?
Who knows? Maybe the traffic not as much. But then
The last time I went there, the whole place feels so sterile
I
and
think
clean.
the whole entire point of like going out is to experience something cool have never been done before. I love the Eldrin 19th anniversary of 1 or something. Yeah. The 19th anniversary or 20th anniversary or something like that. Yeah, wow, dude, it's like some random abandoned dance studio warehouse area.
Oh really? Where was it?
Shit, I forgot already. But I took a cab there and then it's like nobody, it's like damn quiet some more. It's like soundproof damn well. And then the taxi driver is like, huh? Why is this place in the middle of nowhere? Then from a corner of my eye I saw Earn Chen. I don't know if you know.
Oh yeah.
Then I'm like, I think I'm in the right place. Yeah, then after then we just go up, and then suddenly the moment the lift reach and doors open, it's just wow.
Which area is
Tech
it?
house south of Singapore.
Okay.
Yeah, I think so. South.
Not 24 hour, right?
It's like late night, like 10 p.m. onwards.
No, I'm talking about 24 hour the venue at Pasir Panjang. Because you said south.
Pasir Panjang is like southwest, right?
Yeah, kind of.
Like south is like more Marina Bay, that.
I mean, technically, Harbourfront is south.
I don't recall already lah. But then the thing is, I was there, and then I met a few friends also. Mern, everybody was there, and that's how I met Lincoln actually, and that's how I get the podcast from him.
Oh.
Yeah, so Lincoln was there, chilling, and then yeah, man.
I can't imagine if he never opened Zouk.
Probably this would all wouldn't happen.
Yeah, man. Seriously.
Maybe we still listen to Chachambo.
I guess a lot of us have him to thank.
Yeah.
That's a fact.
So how did he make the impossible happen during his era, right?
It was easier. We were more willing. He started out doing parties at a club called The Warehouse before Zouk.
I know, but then the thing is like, I think back then the tools available weren't as great as now.
Tools, yes. But the mindset was different.
I think it's easier to convince people together, but the tools are less.
Yeah.
Now with the tools are more, right? It's actually harder.
Yeah, correct. So everything's a polarity.
So every age has its own problems.
It's like talking, like people say, even though you have apps and all that, right? But now you can't even pick up somebody in a club.
Yeah.
Like guys have told me like, wow, I just try to talk to a girl, she turned around and said I try to molest her. What the hell? I was like, huh? So bizarre. You see, things are hard. So you see, if it's harder now, right, then how is it going to be done? What is going to be incentivized? People need to be incentivized too much. They need the carrot and stick.
Yeah.
And we're not going to do the free drinks route because then it just kills it. Venues need to earn money. Everybody needs to earn, whether it's a lot or a little, but as long as they don't lose, but they still need to earn.
But by carrot and the stick, how do you carrot and the stick someone into clubbing?
Exactly.
You can't.
Which is theoretically what we're trying to do.
Yeah.
Because we're trying to think of ideas to give them incentive to come out.
Yeah. I mean, the carrot lah, but you can't stick them. What?
I feel like the percentage of gamers now is really, really, really large.
Okay.
People rather stay home play game.
Yeah. But I heard there's this thing called VTubing.
What's VTubing?
Like virtual, people hang out in virtual space. And then there's like a streamer, and then they will just hang out together. And then eventually they'll be like, okay, you know what? Since we are constantly in this live chat every single day for 8 hours for like 5 years already, right? Why don't we meet in real life one day? Let's fucking suddenly 1,000 people just gather.
Is it overseas or here?
I think it's very predominant in Japan.
See, a lot of things work so well overseas. It would be so cool if we worked here.
Yeah. Yeah, but
And Japanese are so forward thinking.
yeah, especially the fact that they are Asians, right? Yeah.
I mean, to us, yes. To them, I don't think so. I think we just see them as Japanese.
Or they are their own special breed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All born ninjas, man. But how do we get that? How do we make that culture here?
That is a...
Because people keep telling me about using Discord. I didn't know how to use. I mean, I know how it works. When I look at Discord,
Yes,
I'm like,
people also tell me to use Discord last week only.
when I look at this Discord interface, right, I'm laughing my ass off because you know it looks exactly like IRC.
Look like MSN Messenger.
No, more like IRC.
Before MSN Messenger.
Yeah, IRC, you know, all the chat rooms, the sites. The interface is very much like IRC. And Messenger is one-on-one. Messenger never went group.
Got lah, group chat, yeah. Last time I always said.
Oh, I mean, you can add people, yes, then it slowly expands.
Yeah.
But the functions and everything else, right, very similar to MRIC. So the thing is, how do you use Discord to get these people? But how do you, get them in a room. What's going to keep them in a room? What will be their interests?
So there's a lot of like music
Because
producers.
you're talking about those groups, VTube, right? What will keep them together?
I think the easy one is if you have one Chobu there, then everybody come and watch her every single day, talk cock with her, hang out with her.
Oh my god, Incel Magnet.
But this is the easiest way, right? Second way that I've seen, right, is like James Hype. He has his own Discord channel, and inside is just James Hype updates, music production tutorials, and then like, okay, I'm gonna give a lucky fan a DJ controller or what, do giveaways, all the different kind of activities there lah.
You think that will work here?
Incentivize people to join. I don't think there is a single Singaporean that's famous enough to do that.
Do you think you really need fame for that, or do you just need someone with noble intent? That
Honestly,
can be like.
I think
iconic.
Singaporeans look down on Singaporeans.
Oh my god! You know, an old late friend of mine, she said Singaporeans are very self-loathing.
Oh.
He said this a long time to me, and it's stuck in my head.
Valid, man. You just need a overseas person, right? That is famous.
That needs
half
to
as good.
stop, though. It's been like how many decades? You know, I would love to see Singaporeans fly. You know, I
But
get very happy when I hear.
Then
about
again,
Singaporeans
if you can
doing well.
see the separation, everybody's just doing their own thing. Everybody's doing their own collective. Nobody is like trying to like gather everybody.
There's a word for it. It's called kiasuism.
Yeah.
But how do you gather? Who are these everybody's though? Because you see, when everyone talks about gathering everybody, right? To me, everybody is a big pie chart.
Yeah.
You cannot get everyone together because they're from different walks of life, different music genres, different intentions, different culture.
Last time I used to say support local.
Yeah.
But now I don't really advocate for that because support local is like quite there's a good part, there's a bad part.
It's contrived lah.
The bad part is that if it sucks, how do you still support it, right?
Yeah, then it becomes like a token hire.
Yeah, so
It's
now
like
I just support my friends.
It's almost like affirmative action.
Yeah. So I think if you can do at least support your friends. You know, most people cannot even support their friends, cannot even like their music, cannot even listen
Yeah,
to
why,
their music. Most people can't even do that. If you can just minimally support your own friends, Singapore will be
Much
a
better.
much better place for the arts.
Because everything counts in large amounts.
Yeah, like just a small thing, small action you take. So right now, right, is how maybe I'm already doing it that I'm really unaware of, but how am I gathering my own crowd is I just start with my own friends first lah. And from there, if they really love it, they will intro their friends.
I feel we need to do more cross-pollination. It's not really done much here.
Yeah,
and when
yeah.
it gets done, it feels a little bit exclusive. As for someone who literally has had enough of the exclusive party from before, right?
Cross-pollination as in collective collab.
Like even people from the singing pop market and the DJ market.
Yeah.
There needs to be way more than that. And I would love to be involved in something. I mean, obviously, it would be beneficial. At least if my school could represent this subculture, it'd be good from a business standpoint. It'd be good from a culture development standpoint.
Yeah.
It'd be good from a, let's fuck shit up standpoint.
Yeah.
And I have friends who also sing. And I found out for the longest time in the local scene, right? The artists have this aversion towards electronic music. I don't know why. And in the past, electronic, like you see that guy who sang with Z.
John Bellion, yeah.
Yeah, he's a singer, he's an artist, right? But overseas, it's normal for artists to collaborate electronic music artists for the longest time.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about pop releases now. Even before, like in the 90s, when Chemical Brothers used to feature Tim Burgess from Charlatans or like In Seats. Right. Yeah, the bands and then New Order would dance. So exciting. So you have the band side with the dance side. But you don't have that here, not as much. Actually, I just had an idea just now.
Yeah.
While we're doing all this, right? Which is the goal? To generate, to fill up clubs, or to push music awareness, or to just get people to come out. Because I think not all of them are the same goals.
Right.
Because you see, depending which angle you look at it, it'd be nice. For me, I'll be interested if you can push like interesting sounds out there. There's so much genres which don't get awareness.
Yep.
Like even like the stuff, for example, now I'm playing at Tanglin and people are vibing to it, right? It's ironically tracks from 8-9 years ago which never got their chance to really be heard. So if we're doing this, are we doing this to educate people about music in fun ways? Because you cannot keep using the word educational.
Yeah.
And I hate it when DJ says you need to educate the crowd. The crowd didn't come here to get educated. They came here to have a good time.
Yeah.
But you mold it in a way, if it's a good party, people will pay attention to the music. If the vibe is right, they made new friends that night. And these days, I guess Instagram to share themselves, then maybe they'll pay attention to what's being played.
Yep.
So are we selling the music? Are we helping venues get better sales and filling up their empty dance floors? Or
Indirectly bettering the scene.
Or are we trying to expand the locally based music culture to get more locals to be interested in it? Because people have been trying for years and it's such... Okay, the guy who told me about the self-loading thing was actually Chris Ho. And he was a big, influence on me. I think he was a big influence on a lot of people. His passing really left a hole in the entire gap. But I can tell you, he tried really, really hard. If not for him, I wouldn't have met Ben Ang. He was the one person that was willing to cross worlds. Not many people went to cross worlds. From the punk scene to the rock scene, indie, dance, everywhere. He was everywhere. And he was involved in so many things. So he brought so many people together. He forged new friendships, forged new relationships. Not many people are like that nowadays, and not many people have the energy. He had the energy all the way until the end, even though it drained the hell out of him. But if we have that kind of energy, and our goal is number one, build community. I mean, it sounds cliche to build community, but what sold back then was community. People like to go to spaces where they know they're going to meet familiar faces or have the chance of getting to know someone else new.
Yep.
And we need to sell the message of why is it a good idea to meet new people, not on the phone but face to face.
Yep.
And then the music will be an afterthought, because I think a lot of people now are not going out purely for music.
Yes, correct.
Which is sad, because me and Robin keep talking about where can we do stuff, what can we do, because I always ask him for advice. Like there's this one small space I totally love and I played there twice and I love it. Not great sound system, but such a good vibe. But people, that venue has food, so we're gonna come to eat, they hear something good, and that venue does not play commercial at all. Some of the nights can be accessible sounding. Being accessible and being commercial are two different things.
Correct.
Have you heard of Moonstone?
I heard of Moonstone.
Oh, it's such a nice place, man.
But I never been. But I know a lot of indie events are being thrown.
Independent sounds, not necessarily indie per se, but like me and Robin did an 80s night together. Then I decided to do something mildly rebellious. Although small scale, but to me, at least me and my friend made a difference. We decided to do a queer night in a straight club on Pink Dot. So instead of getting involved with the rest of the gay scene, right, we decided to bring our music to this place, but my version of it. And then, me and this other DJ called Andrew, we planned we did 5 decades of queer anthems. From the 70s to the 80s to the 90s to 2000 to, I don't know, 5 decades. And everything from Donna Summer and Cher to Sabrina Carpenter and Ariana. And even George Michael. And I played Bowie. I played all the stuff that people didn't expect to hear.
And you didn't stop non-queer people from entering?
No, it was on the IG, and the girl running it, Miranda, was open for it. So in fact, due to time, I mean, we would like to continue at some point. And we saw mixed people coming in dancing. That is community. Like you see, I want to bring, there are good gay DJs out there. The problem is people cannot separate the two, you know. There's a difference between a gay DJ and a DJ who happens to be gay.
What? What's
You
the
know what I mean?
difference?
Like a gay DJ can be someone who just focuses on the gay scene and just plays that sound for that scene. But a DJ who happens to be gay is someone who plays music and just happens to be gay.
Yeah.
Just because you're Indian, you don't play Bhangra and down music. You know what I mean?
Right.
Nash D. So
Yeah.
I love that boy. Sweet escape. I used to watch you guys at F Club, man. So
Way
you see,
back.
yeah, a three of you with Hanif, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I saw you before you even knew who I was. So I was the guy running around seeing all these things, and I saw Red Moon as well. And then I was lucky enough to get to know him down the line.
Yeah.
So you see, there are all these amazing things that happened before. Did you have fun doing Sweet Escape? I used to follow your guys' pages, no? You guys put out tracks as well, right?
We put out skits also. We acting everything.
Yeah, I was a fan of your page. So you see, where is that generation now? Where you take pride. I mean, you're not even my generation. And then you guys play commercial, but it doesn't matter. But the energy behind it was like, brotherhood, yo. It's so, where is that now? That needs to come back now. So we need more people. That's why I'm lucky enough that I've met some Gen Zers, right? Who feel like knights at the round table.
Right.
That's what you need. You need a round table of knights. You need people who says we're going to do this. And I mean, subsequent shows, if you get my other guys on board, it'd be great. Then you can meet them. They are good people. You need good people. One of them is sadly going to go away for exchange for half a year, but he's going to come back in May.
Half is short, man.
Yeah, like, he has his own collective called Longkang Ginak. So cute, right? LKG. And he on the other hand, he also plays like a dance hall, Afro, different sound. So I've got him to play at DG, got him to play at Backroom last week. Oh yeah, he's playing 2 nights at Backroom. So you see that all these interesting people to bring them together, right? And then Tylo, my instructor, this guy is wow, seriously, Swiss Army knife, man. He's one of my instructors now, Logic instructor. He's in NUS. He set up something in NUS itself for live acts to perform. It's called Studio. And he's running another studio at Shaw Road in Tai Seng with a bunch of friends actually doing music production, and one of them is a photographer as well.
Right.
He's so industrious for his age. I mean, his specialty is K, R&B and all that, but I keep telling that no matter what, music, DJing, it's all part of the same pie chart. For something to work, they all need to work together. That's how it's worked for the longest time. Whether it's pop music in Korea or whatever, all that got amplified the moment DJ culture came into the fray. Everybody was jumping on the bandwagon. You see, like in the 80s, people forgot the past. People were using non-dance music to dance to, because that's how DJing got invented, right?
Yeah, I
But
mean,
the-
it started with hip hop.
No, it did not. It started way before that.
Like
It
funk.
started with the broadcast DJ who literally brought his whole setup to a venue. Even though he's short DJ, he was basically playing two, sequential music together. It didn't have to be beat match, but it was just non-stop. It was all that broadcast DJ who started it. Then from there, the culture started. The only reason that DJing exploded because of, technically, we have the Japanese to thank. Because the Japanese didn't manufacture techniques, right? The European turntables were too expensive. And then when the Japanese manufactured techniques, in the West, it was more affordable. That's when everybody started to mess around with it, and things were accidentally invented.
Yeah.
Like transforming and all that. So that history, different realms of different parts of the world, things were happening. The irony of it is, discotheque is a French word. People were actually dancing in France before even people were paying attention. People weren't paying attention to hip hop
But
then.
Spain steal the dance away, man.
That was way later when it became industrialized.
Yeah.
You're talking about Ibiza, right?
Not exactly, but if you watch any Spanish movies, right, you have people just dancing in every scene.
No,
you
it's
know?
ethnic culture.
Yeah, it's like their thing. I'm not even thinking about Ibiza. I was like thinking about like the mainland, Yeah.
No, but if you really want to go back, then technically the people who actually were more celebratory but rarely get the credit for it, right, are the nomadic tribes. Then you're talking about your Hawaiian, because you remember Hawaii, like when I was a kid in the 70s, right, I used to watch Hawaii 5-0, and then they have this thing called luau's. You know what luau is, right?
I heard of it though.
It's basically a beach party That's the word for it. I used to wow, like someone older on a party. See you dancing on the beach, and all the grass skirts, then nice music, then the lights, everything. So it's like it all started by celebrations. People are not celebrating anymore. They feel like they have no reason to celebrate, and now celebrating is too expensive. I was lucky enough. I came from a time where we could go to Sentosa in the 90s, and there was this rundown bar called Sunset Bay.
Yeah.
Where everybody was friends, and everybody who used to hang out there ended up going to all the nicer clubs. Even, I don't know, have you met a Clifford Party Man Chua?
Yes, I heard.
Yeah, so Clifford,
Butter yarn, yeah.
Clifford's my old friend. So everybody, green, black, white, yellow, purple, fat, skinny, no one gave a shit. It was such a free vibe. No one was like, hey, you're so fat, why you take off your top? Everyone was just free. I mean, yes, you have your fair share of people who get drunk and fight. Where won't you have that, right? But it was a celebratory culture, and it was a bit like a luau. It was like a beach party. Now, Sentosa is so industrialized, you know what I mean? It's not, you can't casually go there. Then people are like, we don't want to go in the water, it's dirty. We don't even have we're an island with no beach culture. How like that?
I mean, when you mentioned that you want one of the three things, right? You want to gather people, or you want to
We need to identify
educate them
goals.
of the music,
Yeah.
or you want to pack up the club, right? I don't think they should be mutually exclusive, right?
You can't do them all at one go.
They can link. You can link, you know. So like for example,
Only in stages.
maybe in stages.
Yeah, in stages.
So you can start out with interesting music and a small group of people, and then eventually they will tell their friends, and then it kind of accomplishes all three goals.
I feel a potential starting point. Because recently also, I met this guy who plays very good funk guitar. And I thought I always wanted to put together like an
With
EP.
Funk House.
Yeah. No, like an EP first. I think the music needs to go out as something that masses can accept first.
Yep.
Don't push the dance music agenda just yet. Because production is a skill set. You can use it to do anything. I mean, we know that for a fact. Look at the Chemical Brothers. They've made so many different kinds of sounds.
Everything
over
remix
years.
lah.
No, even the original versions. Have you heard the track Go?
No.
It's bloody good, man. It's not a 4/4 song. It's funk. And they got Q-tip on it. You know Q-tip?
Very familiar.
The black rapper out of the glasses.
Oh, okay.
He's very wholesome with Jack Kwaikia, so no one remembers him because he's not sleazy. You know, I think he was from the Fugees or something. So all these collaborations, I think more interesting music needs to go out onto Spotify first to show all these collaborations. I mean, not to put local music down, but a lot of them sound really sad. The QC level is not there. It doesn't slap you in the face. So you see, the one artist, the two bands which I listened to, which I really got my attention, were Disco Hue and Take Two. So it needs to be artists. And I have this friend who's got a lot of talent, but somehow people know he exists, but he's not shining just yet. He's got it all now. He's got the look, he can write, he's got the voice. His name is Dominic Chin.
I have an NS friend called Dominic Chin as well, but I believe it's not the same one.
Did he go to MDC?
No. He's like officer combat unit.
Oh no. Yeah, this guy. And he's interested in actually working on more collaborative projects.
Right.
So we can get these artists who are more open-minded in terms of
Pressing on the mic. Yeah.
if we can get these artists who are more open to collaborations or different sounds, right? Push out the easy to listen music first, and then come on board with the back end, like maybe remixes by different artists, and then have everyone share all those platforms, and then do live performances. Get a small space that look, we just want to get this out there. Let's do a gig. Live performance, maybe singing together with the same version that was produced. Maybe even get the guitarists all come on board. Then later after party DJ. So you mix the worlds. More mixture is better.
That is actually the music angle that you're targeting.
Yeah lah, but
which
then
I
you-
think is the hardest angle to come in, to lure people in. I like the part where you say it's about celebration.
You get them to celebrate the party, yeah.
Yeah, correct. So it's the easiest way to get them out.
Yeah, but you
Yeah.
need to get them out to come out to see something first. Then you
Yeah.
combine. You see, like in unis, it works because they feel like they don't have to leave their campus.
Right. They have that ecosystem. Right?
Yes, but if you pull them out and you have all these people who have networks and you market it well, right, then you build up, maybe this event 30 people come down. Next event 50 people come down.
Right.
Then you exponentially grow it. You document it, say this is what you missed. Don't miss it the next time. Then we go around talking to like a more local artist, said you want to get involved.
Right. Yeah, I think important to have a core product, and then from there you think about
You
how
need the product to sell the product.
Yeah.
So once you have the product, then we can sell it. Then when we sell it, then we need to attach faces to this product, because you see the problem with products, especially in this case, you're talking about culture. Who's the face of this culture? So once you have the faces, right, then people know who they're coming for or who they're coming to support. Like you see, a lot of people support your night because they go to Leonard's night. They may not go because whoever's playing before you or after you. But as long as you're playing, people will stay. Now, can you actually run the night if you're not involved?
Yeah. Correct.
If you take yourself out of the ecosystem, right, it's hard. So like even all those other collective nights I mentioned, right, the tiring thing, like say for example, Adrian wanted to take a break and somebody else play Pop Tart, will it still be?
I mean, it's like the Mr. Beast, right? It's like a inverted triangle where Mr. Beast, everybody relies on him. If
Yeah.
he's not in one episode, right, well, then the episode cannot film already. Yeah.
Scary, right?
But it's part of being a creator, right?
Yeah lah. So either you identify the one person or you identify the collective brand name and you make that shiny.
Yeah.
Like you see You know who did amazing stuff and I really respect them? Sunshine Nation. People don't even need to know who ran Sunshine Nation. But people went for their parties. And the tons of people went. Remember Garden Beats?
Yes.
Sunshine Nation. Do people need to know who organized Sunshine Nation? No. But people all know the parties.
Right.
Yeah, even though they're not doing it anymore. I'm not sure what happened to the balance two partners. Then they went on to open restaurants and stuff, like Don Ho. Right? But you see what they done, and on the side, what people didn't know, they were doing corporate events.
Right.
They were doing agency work.
To earn money lah. To throw all these like spectacular shows.
I think that's what they always wanted to do, because it's just like for me, I also have a side which likes doing corporate events, and it's not just about the money, it's because it really is an interest to me. Because I started out in mobile at school and I worked in a corporate environment before, so I still have both sides. I enjoy it, and then so Sunshine Nation used to do parties. They started small parties. They used to do parties in Butter Factory and quite a few places. So they started as a DJ night and they expanded into like festival level.
Yeah.
And Guns Beats was like the only locally based interesting festival here. With the food, the drinks, and they use Fort Canning.
Yeah, but when you say interesting, right, it also means like not common, then
But they
smaller,
packed it.
smaller fan base.
Fort Canning, small man.
Fort Canning is about 10,000.
I mean, they managed to pack it, and it was a whole day event.
Right.
I think they did some.
Obviously,
was
there's a
2 days.
reason why it cannot continue, right?
No, I mean COVID was one of them lah. And I
Such
think
a
also
shame.
And I think also the partners, maybe some there's probably a story there or something, because they were doing quite well.
Yeah.
So there's probably some other story, but the fact is it can be done. We just need to say that we want to do a Singaporean version of that.
Something that I love, right, is what Joe Rogan did for comedians. So Joe Rogan has a big platform, his podcast, and he's earning a lot of money, right? So he takes some of the money, right, to go and build a comedy clubs, and then start bringing in good comedians and give them a platform. And then randomly there will be like Dave Chappelle show up to do a session, just because of his connection with Joe. So that itself has become like an institution for up and coming comedians to gather.
Correct, but it all points back to Joe Rogan.
No, actually, he is like, people don't even know that he opened this. I think maybe the comedians know, but
The organizers lah.
yeah, but I am such a
The
huge
consumers don't know.
Yeah, I'm such a huge Joe Rogan podcast fan that I don't even know the name of this. So he's like, I think he's really opening in this for the culture lah. Yeah, so I think that's also one way. If some rich guy is willing to pump money to a venue, right, so that certain music can exist, right, where it is financially not viable. Yeah, then I think that is also another way that
Probably need to get brand sponsors, not so much a rich guy lah. Maybe someone
brand sponsors,
who has budget for like brand awareness.
which is why I love Revision Music and their collab with Carhartt.
Why so familiar?
Revision Music is the DMB label, drum and bass.
Yeah.
And then they have Carhartt to like come in. So now all these
Now?
like, as in now and starting
Carhartt
from
Singapore?
last year. Carhartt, yeah.
Oh, they're still active here.
I don't know whether it's Carhartt Singapore or international lah, but I know they have Carhartt collab lah. And you look at Heineken with Boiler Room.
Yeah, I see. Back then, correct.
So all these brands now, they start to pick up on all these like cool subcultures already, and I think they identified this as
Heineken
the
has always
future lah.
had his hand in the pot anyway. Green Room.
Yeah, I guess so. So maybe
How do we do it for the younger generation?
I guess also for more brands lah. Like in a sense that how can we convince more brands to work with cool collectives, cool initiatives, to let them see the upside, to let them see the upside to working with us.
I think it needs to be done in a way that it feels very grassroots, because I feel when it gets too cool, it becomes poshified. And that's
Poshified.
yeah,
What's that?
too posh.
Okay.
Even to me, honestly, a lot of underground parties, right? Cool is cool lah, but it's all very atas now. Boiler Room, Heineken. You think normal locals are even gonna? They'll feel too socially intimidated. We need stuff that feels really kampong. I mean, at least the vibe, the energy. Don't Singlishify it and all that. Then that's a bit lame lah. That's cliche. But
Right.
I think the vibe has just gotten a bit so atas. Because we still forget there's a whole bunch of people who don't go to uni, who are not grads, but maybe they want to come out. So that's why I see a lot of these people end up in Siam Tews. So are we doing this to fill up Siam Tews? Or are we doing this to fill up our scene? Because Siam Tews already has that crowd, right? And Siam Tews is not even Siam Tews anymore, they're just Chinese clubs. It's not a bad thing, but it's just traditional.
But like you say, right, all these posh places, they are
No,
also
the culture.
targeting the good looking, the atas, who don't want their club to be filled with good looking atas people, right?
All Siam Tews.
Probably. I think the revenue generating people they think differently.
Yeah, correct lah. Because there are ways around it. I feel like nothing can happen in Singapore until it becomes elite.
Wait, what? Nothing can happen in Singapore unless
It becomes elite.
elite.
Everything becomes elite after a while. Even the underground can become elite.
Except for Siam
Yeah.
they stick true to the
You see,
branding.
even music can become like, poshified. It's not really grassroots anymore.
Yeah, I guess.
We need to do it in a way that it does
In the
not
middle
sell
ground,
the message.
in the middle ground, it cannot be too rabak, but also don't want to be too
No, we
elitist.
cannot be too rubber in the sense we do not want to attract people that are going to get drunk into a fight.
Yeah,
That's all.
yeah.
It doesn't matter what they look like as long as they understand. Hopefully, we can tie up with venues to say, okay, cheap drink promos, please. Don't rip off anyone. What 18 plus for a house pour? Come on. What? No one can. Even I wouldn't want to spend on that now. Would you want to spend 18 plus for a house pour?
But I think now it's quite a standard price, 18 plus
That's
plus.
the problem.
Right?
But so if you have a night where they're willing to, willing to do promos or that, then it's okay. If you can do pop-up spaces, like say for example at John Bersa place, okay, to rent it for 8 hours is 640. Quite cheap, Not too bad, no?
Yeah. You sell 30 tickets, you kind of make back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then fine. We get our own bar partner who settle like the drink license and talk to them. Say, okay, dude, either because most bar partners they want to get paid flat fee, and then they'll give you all these drinks on it. So they say, okay, let's do a revenue share. So we find people who are willing to take a risk, but not too much of a risk. As long as you don't lose can already.
Yeah.
As long as you don't lose something, the most you just lose time. And then you see the results. How many people turn down? Reach out to certain people. Maybe even have opening spots for like DJs from the uni clubs.
Yeah. I think this existing
Bands from the uni
problem
clubs.
that we have in the club, in the clubbing scene and the music scene, right, is like so many things have to be done in order for it.
Correct. That's a pain in the ass lah. It's emotionally draining.
Yeah. So we just have to figure out the first thing we want to target, and then each of us do our part, I think. Eventually, hopefully.
I think we need to wait a little bit, like maybe until at least next year before we can do any planning. Maybe see how these things will turn out. And now there's a new club opening out as well.
Huh?
But that one's going to be for, I think, older generation, so it won't really affect the kids. Yeah, another
So many new
underground
clubs open up.
Yeah, then there's Kotu also. There's Kotu, there's Rasa, there's all these new places. So all those I think will maybe hit above 30 group or 25 and above, which is not really the focus. Because if you're above 25, you already know whether you want to go out or not.
Yes.
We don't need to touch that already. You know what I mean? Like for me, okay, at TG's even side, TG's, yes, we want to focus on the above 25, ideally late 20s and above, because no matter what, drinks are not cheap there.
Yep.
And it's the kind of place that it's a low energy, high energy party. It's like a party, but not raver party.
More vibe.
Yeah, it's a different kind of thing. You know, to be adults. Adults will go on the grass and dance.
Right.
Not kids. Not high energy 24 hours. Very, very, very slim chance. Unless you put the console back and it's really packed, then maybe. But then that's not going to be an every Friday, Saturday thing. So you want them in a room. They need to be in a room where there's some lights, distractions. They need that. They're so used to that already. You take that distraction away, you don't have anything else. So we need to look out at venues first and talk to spaces. It may not need to be a club. It could just be an event space. Could be a art gallery that's going to take a risk, or maybe an event gallery. Then find the right, but event gallery then got bring in your own sound. So there's a lot of things to factor in. Bring in your own sound, bring in your own bar.
We need like a session, right, where all the clubbing people come down and sit down and think of like how to create an experience that's worth getting people's ass off their couches to come.
No, but some people may not even know how the kids think because they may not have the.
You need to involve kids, you need some Gen Z stuff.
I feel you need mainly Gen Z stuff. Then we bring our sense of organizational skills and experience and exposure and say this is what we've seen before and what can be done. And I think
They throw the ideas.
that's why I like the team that I have, the guys with me, because they're all from extreme walks of life. Very, very different walks of life. So when they see different things, they have something different to bring to the table. I still feel like live performing is quite interesting.
Yeah, of course.
I feel there are not enough fusion live performing events in Singapore. It's too separated. And maybe it's programmed. You see, like, even until now, right, there's not enough launchpad performers in Singapore.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering who's buying all the novations from Sweden then? I want to get in touch with them actually because we may have a chance to do something at the. There could be a chance to do something. In fact, they're planning for the art festival, but it's 25th January. It's too close already. You probably have a program for that. So
Interesting, man, launchpad performers.
because hearing one of my other Falling Islands, Genius on that. Ben also does it. You see, Ben is living proof that you can actually do it all, but how do we get Ben's message out to the entire country? If you hear his entire story, right, there will never be another person like him in Singapore. He's so well balanced across the board, from his day job to his family to the music side. Nobody can actually manage to balance all three. And he's got 4 kids. And the fourth one only came out in 2015. And he's older than me.
This guy is like...
And he's actually released music with his wife, and they've performed overseas before. And they do have an album signed to a label in Belgium. And he's working in government policy making.
I think life not challenging enough for him. He need to add some difficulty.
Yeah, and he's involved with my school. So you see, he's organized enough and,
The more
passionate enough.
organized you can do more things.
Maybe it's a RI boy thing. They all meet like that, right?
Maybe.
So you see, he's done it all, and he used to even be part of his own law firm a long time ago.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
How many things, man?
He's a law student before.
That is crazy, dude.
He's technically a lawyer, just, he's not really practicing now. Now he's in cybersecurity. Yeah, so he's doing all this, and then his major is in IP and copyright, so he understands that market really well.
Perfect law as a composer.
Yeah. So, it's good knowledge that for artists who want to know. Another person who has a lot of information is Tim Licotta.
Oh, I know that.
Yeah, he's a smart guy. He's very informed with all this complex stuff now. He knows a lot of things.
He's a music producer also, right?
Yeah, I feel there's a lot of information that maybe a lot of up and coming producers don't know about. So everyone's jumping on board this production bandwagon, which is a good thing. I'd rather they go produce music and play game. So
Yeah.
at least they're creating. But it would be nice if they had hope. Where is this going to go? What can they do with it? How would they get signed? I mean, anybody can start a band camp, right?
Yeah.
There's so many band camp,
Because
band-led, band camp, band.
If you are thinking very realistically, then you just go for a day job. If you're
Yeah.
very ambitious, you start to do your own music career, don't care about the reality so much. So to have the best of both worlds are very rare, to be
I
honest.
think you can balance it out if you really want to. I
But
mean,
how many people can?
they need to know that it can be done. They need to have.
Or they need to kena first.
Yeah lah. Because honestly, get a day job first, but do this on the side. No matter what, you're still gonna go home. People always say they go home, and I mean, even my friends before, they say I'm very tired, very tired, very tired. 1 a.m. they're still online. So like
They just
1:30,
don't feel like doing it.
they don't feel like so they need to find a reason to be interested in what they're actually interested in. Like I've been so disappointed with so many. Had so many students we taught before DJing, right?
Yeah.
They get very lazy after time. Then I've seen some really, especially guys, right? Their girlfriends can stop them from doing it. I've seen one guy literally be demoralized by his own girlfriend in my own shop. She literally said, "You don't stop this now, I'm going to leave." And he was practicing in the studio, and she just walked out. I was like, huh? What time, which era do I live in, man? It's so weird. So there's so
The
much,
simp era.
yeah, and there's so many distractions now also.
Yeah.
But I don't know, man. Even when I was working last time, man, I couldn't wait to go home and just jam my vinyl in my room.
But we're all nerds, man. We love music, and we are practicing on it. We're discovering new ways to create it. Not many people have that enthusiasm, I would say.
They like the idea of it.
Yeah, they like the idea of it.
They like the idea of it. It's just like someone can like the idea of getting attached, but he may not be able to be in a long-term relationship. He likes the fun part of it, but he doesn't like the part of girlfriend putting on weight, then maybe gonna get married. So that's why you see even nowadays marriages don't last. So
Which is how DJ equipment sell more DJ equipment. They sell you the dream.
Yeah, they sell you
It's
the dream,
Very easy to...
and equipment is getting so expensive
yeah.
and so convoluted.
Maybe clubs should start selling people the dream. Hey, tonight you come confirm get late. And everybody come.
Yeah lah. No, I think they've already done that a long time ago.
Yeah, it's like overplayed already.
Yeah, to the point that there's one time back in the 2000s when I didn't go out for a long time, then I came back, I went to Jakun Zouk, right? I saw gigantic molestation poster. Like, what the hell is going on?
Oversold
I
the
was
dream.
shocked, man. Do you see that banner, the one with the handcuffs?
Yeah.
I was like, why is this even needed? Then the guys told me, oh no, because we happened in the club. I was like, no. Back then, you would never hear such stuff happening. Guys could be toxic masculinity types, but they would still have boundaries.
Yeah.
They would not, let their fingers do the walking. Apparently, it's a thing now. And then you see it's blowing up everywhere. So we're talking about getting all these people back to the clubs. How do we get them to behave themselves? Very hard. You cannot police all this. It's impossible to police. But I think
Very
identifying a goal first, I think the best way is still to start with small, tiny, interesting, thought-provoking projects and then expand out. Do old school but with new school tactics.
Correct.
Like you see, when I went to the UK, I was lucky enough to actually go to Point Blank. And it was such a...
DJ school. Yeah.
No, it's not just a DJ school, man. it's a full-on sound engineering school. In fact, the engineering is not important.
Right.
They are full-on like studios or that. They're like a mini LaSalle on there, minus the design part.
Right.
But the lectures, you could just go in and just have a conversation with the lecturers, talk about the school, and they will entertain you, not like Singapore.
Right.
Singapore must make appointment, just so rigid. And then they ask you, do you want to go for a pint? Just go have a beer with them and chill and then more.
Yeah.
And they are so cool. And then you see how Two Room started.
I don't know.
Okay, Two Room was basically started by Mark Knight.
Oh, Two Room
yeah.
Records.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
Mark
it's
Knight.
more than that. You see, it started off, they just started doing DJ parties, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah.
And
Mark
then-
Knight recently got onto a lot of podcasts, man.
You know who's Mark Knight, so-called emotional mentor, right?
Mark Knight's emotional mentor.
The guy that he looked up to a lot, he loves, Lauren Garnier.
Oh, Lauren Garnier.
Yeah, so Lauren actually gave him the rights to do a cover of The Man with the Red Face. Yeah. So that's how the whole thing sparked off.
Yeah.
They are a credible school now, Two Room Academy. So there's Two Room Records, then they have their parties, and then they have their DJs. Then they brought in more DJs to even teach them how to produce, and then turn into the whole school.
I mean, Tomorrowland also got Academy now.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, but they're not, like I'm telling you, Two Room did it first.
Yeah. That's why. So,
But
yeah.
Two Room is very specific about the sounds. It's basically focused on house and tech house on it. That pie chart sounds. So they reversed it. They started independently and they just grew it, which is what I want to do as well.
I think we can adopt a lot of things from the West, right? But
No, it
one
needs to be
thing,
out the range.
one thing we cannot adopt is the local support.
Yeah.
We can never have that level of local support. We just don't really like ourselves.
Maybe not us as individuals. I mean, I've had my fair share of being groupie over locals. Gawking over, falling over local DJs and their sound and everything. I've had my fair share of people that kowtow to and all that.
Yeah.
But other people just don't take joy in that. I don't know why.
Correct.
You said Robin really supports local artists, no? He actually plays local artists in his DJ sets.
So I think other than, doing what
How do you
are
get them excited?
overseas, yeah, rather than focusing on like adopting cool new strategies that overseas people have created, right? We should maybe start to take a look at ourselves first. Why are we not able to support each other?
But there's some local DJs that have
that's
a lot of big support, right? Okay, maybe
Really?
EDM DJs. What about Wukong? This Wukong guy, a lot of people like him, no?
Maybe fangirls.
Oh, really? Yeah.
So yeah, lor.
Not for the music, lah.
Maybe, I don't know. We just look at Spotify plays, then we can tell which
Oh, you're talking
artists.
about in terms of releases, lah. But you see, for what I see, okay, maybe from a DJ only perspective, I've seen a lot of local DJs who have had their own fair share of followings, but maybe people were more up for following locals back then. It's just maybe not as obvious. I see Aldrin had his fair share of following.
Yeah.
Brandon had his fair share of following. A lot of people had their fair share of following. And even outside, like Ramesh or that, when he was playing, we all love to go for his gigs. So everyone has fair share. This maybe it wasn't grown exponentially on a larger island-wide scale for people to know, because no matter what, it's still dance music. So that's why I say dance music itself cannot be the key. It needs to be something with, and nowadays also, I feel like a lot of sets, you cannot do an entire no singing set.
Yeah.
Every single, okay, for me it's a bit overwhelming. Every single track I hear from whatever people playing needs to have vocals. But maybe that kind of works for now, as it's a good starting point.
To get them into the groove of electronic dance music. No?
I think selling the electronic dance music thing too hard is not going to work.
Yeah, you cannot force feed people.
Yeah, because then it becomes so institutionalized. These people we live in a country full of nerds. Everyone's so scholastic and technical to the point that even when it comes to DJing, all that, people are more interested in the technical aspect of it than the music culture. That's why they don't spend time going and focusing on listening to different sounds. You see people, especially turntablists, they're very skilled, no doubt on that. But maybe trying different sounds from that music people don't even listen to. There's one guy called Zaishen or something. He plays damn good music.
Yeah, Zypho DJ,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. You see, that is a rarity. But how many people are like that?
Yeah.
The stuff he picks out. I mean, yes, he spends money on records and all that. But the fact is, he has the appreciation for that sound. And that sound is not a hype sound.
Yeah.
It's not like people who scratch to drum and bass and trap and all that.
Yeah.
His stuff is very refined. If he was anywhere else, I think he'll do really, really well. Funk and soul, disco, then the house selection he picks is very organic, very warm, not too electronic. So it's a tasting. So if more people started seeing these things, it will be interesting for them. So I think it's to handpick the interesting talents. They have something to bring to the table, something different, not something cliche.
Yeah.
And no matter what, I really feel although in the charts, because labels don't want to sign bands anymore, right? They don't really want to sign bands anymore. It's too troublesome. So you see last 20 years, a big drop in band culture internationally.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there was a time where there were so many bands worldwide, right?
With Metallica and
I mean,
during the time.
regardless of genre, even all the way until like the Laneway era, all the indie bands, and so many. But now it's like trend because labels don't want to sign, big labels want to sign bands, they find them too troublesome. They rather sign individual artists because they can produce their own music.
Yeah.
Or soloists. That's why you see this past 20 years, you see so many soloists, female soloists especially, a lot, to the point that names are all forgettable. And some of them appear for 10 minutes and vanish. So,
But when they pop, right, that's when they can make a lot of money before they
get
find a
awareness
replacement. Yeah.
unless the artist really has some interesting skill of her own, that's why you see no matter what, Gaga won't die so easy. She may not, maybe the younger generation won't listen to her, but she doesn't need the younger generation.
Like, versatile, she can act, she can do everything.
She's got, like recently, her Chromatic Ball tour, worldwide sold out. Sometimes it's really not about always getting the attention of the younger generation. But as long as you get the right attention. So no matter what, everyone will fade at some point. Whoever was popular 5 years ago will eventually, people who like that person will stay with that person if that person is continuously active. The rest, like you see, when Killers came out, everyone loved them. But now you ask people don't listen to them. But the true fans will follow them. Will follow their new albums, all that. So the same for these parties, all that. If you have to, you want to keep it going, right? Then the figurehead should not be too obvious. But the brand name should be obvious. Because no one knows who the hell can remember the guy who started McDonald's. Can you? I can't. But you can remember McDonald's, because McDonald's, you see, so the name needs to keep going.
I mean, same for, I guess, Armin van Buuren. Slowly, his A State of Trance is slowly becoming bigger than himself. As of now, not yet lah. Yeah.
But it will not supersede spinning lah.
It's different. Armada and A State of Trance, they're all linked with Armin van Buuren. It's like one independent.
But he doesn't own Armada.
He owns.
Does he?
It's called Armada for a reason. Armin van Buuren.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why was I thinking of somebody else in my head? But you see, there are people who will still buy or use Armada tracks, right? Without even thinking, oh, I'm supporting Armin van Buuren.
Yeah. Lor. So the brand is like
That's the beauty of it, correct?
Yeah. Becoming bigger than the individual
And Armada has got sub-labels also.
Yeah.
And I think they actually bought over a few smaller labels.
Oh, I didn't know that.
He's a smart businessman, though.
Yeah. I mean, he's a lawyer, so
Yeah.
comes with it.
Met him for a while once at one of those music symposiums at W Hotel. Really nice guy. Yeah, those guys in the area really were smart, I think. I have more respect for him than Tiesto.
It's about like finding the problem of every genre and finding ways to overcome it lah. And then hopefully we can kind of like
You need a team of people willing to work on the boring things. That's one thing I learned, because you really need people who are okay with playing the boring things and really like putting thought into like bullet point, finding the, admin. It's always about
shit
admin.
yeah.
Most people have no patience. If we can say, okay, we can do that, we are patient enough to like think of a plan and then put that into structure and then slowly just keep adding to a document, build onto that, then sure, we got something to work on. Then the rest can just come and contribute their ideas and maybe take a look at it. So it's really getting the right people who have the patience to see something grow. And then connecting all the dots. But having an event space that's affordable, or we can get sponsors to come and cover the costs, is really a good idea. But before that stage, which is so far off, you need to put all the pieces together. I think the best way is to like reach out to certain individuals and have conversations and say, would you be interested? Like for example, singers and all these people, instrumentalists. People still like people playing guitars. Even though bands are not big on like I said, on the world scale, right? But like in Singapore, uni bands are a thing. City music still sells shitloads of guitars. Really sells guitars. Why? It's still fundamental. And I still think, yes, as much as people love band music, right? I mean DJ music, right? But there needs to be yin yang, ma.
People just like to see when people do shit.
Yeah. Wouldn't it be so cool to see someone doing guitar like funk solo towards someone DJing?
Yeah.
I mean, the sex thing has been done to death, but I still love it.
Yeah.
But maybe it's time to add on more instruments.
Yeah.
Like me and Ben used to jam last time, like I'll play music, then he'll play his pets. So more visual stimulation is more interesting than venues where the consoles are lower so people can actually see what's going on. That's how you get people to like pay attention. If it's just playing music, after a while, CDJs mean nothing to people. It doesn't matter whether it's 3,000, 1,000 or whatever. It's just they hear the music. It's not that visual to them anymore already.
Correct. It has to link to some visual elements lah.
Yeah. Last time I saw something, even though it was small scale, right? But it was so ultra cool. Do you know the label Kitsune?
Yes.
So I think it was J-Bag. They brought J-Bag in one of the acts Tanjong Beach Club. The guy brought a Sinta. And
What's a Sinta?
Synthesizer guitar.
Oh.
Yeah, old school, but it's still a thing now. And then like one guy DJing, right? He was actually walking around into the crowd playing that. Everybody was so stoked and so super excited. It was really very stimulating. Even I was like, wow, super happy. Because first thing I see an act I like, and then this guy's playing Sinta. So there's acts like Younger, Y-O-U-N-G-R.
Yeah, younger, yeah.
Yeah. And the funny thing is, I was a big fan of his father, and I didn't even know that his father was Kid Creole. Kid Creole, the coconut. That was his dad, man. That was the guy who actually pushed Calypso pop back in the day.
Wow, Calypso pop, man.
Yeah, that's a song,
Have I
you know.
heard this word.
Calypso pop. Even songs like, Cruel Summer by Vanarama, it's Calypso pop. It's that Mediterranean sound in the UK. So Kid Creole was the man. And that's his son. Then you see people like French Kiwi Juice, all these guys.
Oh.
Yeah, I think it's the live element that brings it together. And then it's easier to like push the harder sounds or the more party sounds. If you got
I think early hours, you can kind of like get people...
build up.
Because early hours, not everybody fucked up yet, right?
Yeah,
it's the
correct.
later hours where they get really drunk, so they don't want so many things. Yeah, so I think early hours have a lot of room for this kind of stuff, and that's a solution to get people to come out early when you
correct,
create
yeah.
a spectacle.
Correct,
Yeah,
And then you're setting a culture already.
yeah. So hopefully we can get this rolling.
Yeah, but I still feel that part of it you need to keep for yourself. So you need to put your name out there. You need to take more gigs for yourself, play as a solo act. Find your own space, because if you don't find your own space, you'll be drowned in other people's dreams.
Yeah.
And then say, okay, this is the sound. I want to release an EP with this sound. And then maybe get signed to a small dance label or something. At least have that platform. Because no matter what, when you sell these events, right, people also want to see who's involved and what they've done, like say official school, official artist, official, all this stuff. then it sells legitimacy and credibility.
Right.
Otherwise, if your name just pops up, say, hey, we're throwing an event, people get very lost. They need too much information now to be convinced. It's harder to convince people now than ever before. Last time, the more you don't know, the more you get kepo, and the more you're curious, the more you want to go.
Yeah. Well, I hope our audience can absorb all this information and start doing something about it.